Welcome, dear listeners. I'm Jonathan Carlin.
And I'm Benjamin Carlin.
And we invite you to join us through the Griffin door, your one-way ticket to the enchanting world of Harry Potter. So grab your wands and dust off your broomsticks and join us as we unlock the potion-stained pages of the Half-Blood Prince Chapter 9, The Half-Blood Prince.
It is the title chapter.
It is the title chapter.
Oh, man. Do we talk about this, I think, every single time we get to the title chapter. Is there one in every single book? Is the one that would make me think no is the Sorcerer's Stone.
I know. I don't think the Sorcerer's Stone is a chapter title.
But I feel like Chamber of Secrets
Chamber of Secrets is. I don't know if Prisoner of Azkaban is.
Okay, but Goblet of Fire
Goblet
definitely.
of Fire for sure.
Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix is definitely one. The Half-Blood Prince is one. Deathly Hallows is one.
Is the Deathly Hallows or is it the Tale of the Three Brothers?
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe it's the Tale of the Three Brothers.
Man, sorry, maybe this is what happens is like we're like in a 3-book skid. No, not skid. The opposite of a skid.
Right.
But 3 books in a row, we've had it.
Right.
And so I lull myself into believing we always do.
It's always there.
Like it's tradish. Like we've just hit like chapter 9. It's like this is important for no other reason other than having this accolade attached to it, but also it's important for a myriad of other reasons. And Jay, I gotta tell you, I'm not sure what it is, but I thoroughly enjoy this chapter.
I mean, it's a fun one. It's just like it's the classic first day of classes chapter that kind of sets up how each subject is going to go for the year.
It is. But there's something else to it that I think kind of stands out, which is that like Harry is like he excels at magic, and you just get to sort of see like it's going to sound like a crazy comparison, but you and I do talk about it quite a bit, like sort of off page. Is like some of the best parts about the TV show Breaking Bad are when they're cooking meth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, not that I'm pro cooking meth, but it's like the act of them being like in the lab and actually like doing the thing is just like enjoyable to like see in the context of the show. It just happens to be a particularly negative thing that they're making. But like, it's
the same thing when you're watching The Bear. It's like, it's my favorite when they're like cooking the food.
Yes. Maybe that's a much better example than mine.
But it's like, I think it ends up being that the case in both of those situations because like, that's what they're always like wanting to do. Like that's what their baseline should be. Right. It's just like, we just show up and we cook the meth. We just show up and we cook the food. But what makes it feel like such a reward when you finally get to see it is usually because the characters have had to overcome any number of dumb obstacles just to get to what feels like should be the most basic baseline thing of their operation.
Exactly. Yes. It's like we're a restaurant and we cook food. And it's like, is that what most of the show's about? And it's like a lot of close-ups on people's faces.
A lot of extreme close-ups. Yeah. A lot of found family, a lot of dealing with trauma and recovering from your brother's death and inheriting a problem you didn't want but you might be good at because you're one of the best chefs in the world.
Exactly. Relatable. We've all been there.
Yes.
But no, so I think one of the things about Half-Blood Prince as a chapter is that Harry obviously finds his copy of Advanced Potion Making, and like you just get to see him, and this I think doesn't happen very often at all with Harry, but like you just get to see him be good at something,
right?
Like, and for the magic to work. And I am perfectly comfortable because it's kind of like the mechanics of the the writing style are sort of like, if you tell me it works, then it works.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because it's so scarce that it's just sort of like, oh, you're getting to see Harry perform magic that is going well, and it's just like, oh my gosh, he did it.
He did
like he made something good.
Right. Good job, Harry.
Because like even going back to like summoning spells, it seems like that's the kind of thing that took like hours and hours of dedicated practice. And it was sort of like, I think I pretty much got the hang of it.
Right.
And it never feels like this came naturally to Harry, which flying is
does
the answer to that otherwise. But even like with the OWLs, or no, it's when Ron gets assigned prefect and Harry's sort of like going through like the ledger between him and Ron, playing that comparison game. It's like, well, we're pretty equally matched as students.
Right.
I'm a better flyer,
but that's about it. Yeah.
Like that's really like the only like accolade he would like give himself as being different. And that's Harry obviously completely ignoring the like magnificent like defeats of the Dark Lord that he,
Yeah. I mean, it's really not until like book 7 where you feel like the main characters are like consistently doing just good magic they're good at.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Which I mean, I suppose works out because that's, you know, that should be when they're at full power at last.
It's true.
You know,
it's true.
if it's going to be ever. But otherwise, it's like, even when Harry casts the Patronus, it's like, he does it. He kills it. It's amazing. But also, it was a pretty life or death situation. You know, there was some adrenaline involved. There was some time travel shenanigans that enabled him to believe in himself in a way he's not possible to believe in himself, you know?
right. Yeah. It's, I guess like maybe like what it boils down to is that like in a world that's all about magic, it seems so rare that you're just simply watching the main character be good at magic.
Right.
Like, in everyday life.
Right.
Like it's almost like it's just like magic is the setting, not the plot.
That's exactly right. Because that's like the joke everyone always makes about Philosopher's Stone, where it's just like, yeah, Harry doesn't cast a single spell. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Like, isn't this a book about magic? Isn't him getting the wand like a really big scene and then we don't get to see him use it at all?
At all. It's so true. Yeah, it's like it's more like what you're seeing is like this quirky underground world that's equal parts like dangerous and whimsical, and there's cauldrons and unusual creatures and floating candles in the sky, and you know,
it's like yeah, magic is more the setting. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like the mechanism by which all the quirkiness is allowed to happen.
But so that being said, you know, you get to actually see Harry excel at something, but then you also get sort of like a fun, quippy version of like a more grown up, more comfortable in his own skin Harry, being a 6th year, kind of kicking off.
Oh, absolutely. And now he's like, he has encountered Voldemort in the graveyard, and then he's encountered Voldemort in the Ministry of Magic. And you can just tell he's just like, you know what? I'm not really afraid of anyone anymore. Yeah, you know, like there's no reason. Like I don't have to put up with this from Snape. I don't have to put up with this from Draco. You know, I'm not backing down ever now.
Yes, it's like he's able to back himself enough to sort of be like, fine, Snape, give me detention. Like who cares?
Right.
You know, and it's like you can't get me the way that you used to get me. I'm not afraid of you expelling me anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
no shot.
So anyway, I know that we've already spent a lot of time talking about the chapter itself, but we obviously have to look at the chapter art, which I believe is going to be the depiction of Felix Felicis with the almost like fish-like, goldfish-like droplets.
Yeah, just hopping, leaping around from side to side, splashing merrily in the cauldron.
Yeah, nary a drop being spilled.
Yes.
Otherwise,
nary a drop.
Yeah,
not getting out.
That I also thought that just at first glance that they kind of look like gulping plimpies.
A little bit. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Which if only we had a Gertie root, we'd be fine.
We'd be great.
Yeah. But yeah, so
maybe that's what's in the bowl. Maybe those are Gertie roots in the bowl.
You could be right. Maybe that's exactly what's going wrong. Going wrong. Maybe gulping plimpies are an essential ingredient to Felix
Felicis.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have some thoughts about one of the ingredients later on.
Oh, I can't wait
to get to it.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear it. Okay. With that being said, Jay, would you like to kick off with the first sentence of the chapter?
Sure would, Ben. It reads, Harry and Ron met Hermione in the common room before breakfast next morning, and then the dragons arrived.
Big first day.
Yeah, I know.
Quite
it's just
frankly.
like, you guys want to like meet downstairs and go to breakfast? Yeah, that sounds good. Oh my God.
Dragons!
Dragons in the first floor corridor.
No.
In the Gryffindor common room.
Dude, do you think, I mean, I feel like this must be the case because of like the films, because there's like the not me, not Hermione, you. But like, and that's like something that obviously I feel like the entire fandom is like latched onto. But we all, I think, have different lines from the series that like basically just embed themselves into our sense of humor.
Yeah.
And Quirrell's like,
no.
Like then like the collapse. I can't tell you the number of times just like in everyday life that like I'm quoting that.
I thought you ought to know.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Blopk.
Yep. Blopk.
Blopk.
Yeah, that's probably the sound he makes when he hits the floor.
I think it definitely
Blopk.
is. You got to get the K.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's like Voldemort back there like, fall forward next time, Quirrell. Goodness, you know I'm back here. The turban's not much cushion.
Of course you can't break my nose, seeing as how I don't have one.
Good one, me. Quirrell, give yourself a high five.
Counting that as mine.
Counting that as mine.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So dragons aside, we do have another event that's going on, which is that Harry, after a night's sleep, is able to tell Hermione everything that he heard Malfoy saying on the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, but then Ron is cutting in and being like, no, but like he's not letting Hermione form her own opinion.
Yes, and so just for a brief recap from the last chapter, this is basically when Harry goes into the train car with the Slytherins and he's hearing Draco talk about maybe some other assignment that he's been given and all that type of stuff. And so Ron, as you say, basically is like, but he was always showing off for Parkinson, wasn't he?
Right.
Interjected Ron. I don't know what it is about this. There is a is this Ron like potentially attempting to impress Hermione like preemptively? Like he's like, you know what Hermione's going to think? She's going to think that it's just Draco showing off.
Right. I think he wants her to think that he really thought about it and came up with clearly the best solution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a couple of other instances that like Ron does things like this where it reminds me of like the same essence. One of them is when they get to the Room of Requirement in Deathly Hallows and like Neville and Seamus are explaining like how they've been hiding out in there, but they needed food. And Ron's like, well, of course, you know, food is one of the exclusions of Gamp's Law of Elemental Transfiguration.
Oh yeah. He does it again in this chapter where Slughorn's like, one of my best friends is Muggleborn, and she's the best in the class. I suppose this is the young lady you were talking about, Mr. Potter.
Yes.
And Harry's like, yep. And Hermione's like, oh my God, Harry, you didn't say that, did you? And Ron's like, I would have said that. I would have said that. I would have said it. Come on, man, bro.
Oh man. Well, yeah. So yes, but that is like Ron almost like after the fact being like, well, I would have said the same thing. But this is like moments where like Ron is, well, and maybe it is the same. Maybe it is the same. I can't remember if they're talking to Moody or Sirius in the cave in Goblet of Fire, but I feel like one of them like tells Hermione like, oh, you'd make a fair Auror, and then like Ron chimes in or something and he's like, yes, and this thing as well,
right?
Like kind of hoping that like he'd be like included in this like assessment,
right? Yeah,
and
I think it is Moody or fake Moody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's exactly what this reminds me of. It's like Ron is trying to be like, oh wait, Hermione, don't worry, I got to the conclusion you also would have got to. Like, let me say it first, so
you know, so that it doesn't feel like I'm like taking credit.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you know, but then Hermione of course like, well, I don't know. To which Ron is like, you must be kidding me. I was taking the words clean out of your mouth. Like,
she's trying to be very diplomatic here. She's like, it would be like Malfoy to make him seem more important, Ron, to your point. However, that's a pretty big lie to tell.
Right.
And Harry's like, exactly, Hermione, you agree with me.
We should go on more dates.
We should go on. Yeah. Huh? What? Who said that? I don't know.
Could have been me.
Could have been me.
Yeah. So Harry immediately is going to be like, you know, latching on to like, that's a big lie to tell. And he's like, okay, I've got a fingernail grip underneath this idea. Right. Like, we need to all really agree faster that Malfoy's up to no good.
He's absolutely up to no good.
Yes. Because otherwise I'm going to have to spend the entire year obsessing about this by myself. And that seems like a drag. So then you've got Ron in classic Ron prefect fashion, who is sort of like, you know, hollering at a small first year boy who is taking a look at Harry as he walks by, which I guess he's also, you know, being protective of Harry, which is nice. But he follows it up with, I love being a 6th year and we're going to be getting free time.
Yes.
It's like Ron shoulders the responsibility of being a prefect, just zero.
I know. He's like, it's just a badge I get to wear.
Yes.
No problem at all. Yeah, whole periods where we're going to sit up here and relax. We're going to need that time for studying, Ron, said Hermione as they sat down the corridor. And it's like, dude, it's not like OWL's last year, man. It's definitely better.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Come on. This is your mid-year. There's no NEWTs or WLs, you know?
Right. Yeah. So in the United States, for example, this happens where we take our SATs junior year. So like when you're going through your high school curriculum, a lot of times junior year, 11th grade out of 12, is the one that like feels the most important. Right. There's the most pressure on it.
Because that's when you're applying to colleges and stuff.
Exactly. And so then basically the only thing about senior year is you can't let your grade slip so badly that you have like your admittance revoked after the fact. But for the most part, it feels like you're using everything up until then to sort of like pledge your like, here are my skills.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So now they're in NEWT. So it's like, whatever. It's just the future of our lives at stake at this point, not grades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, their first day back, it's they're not going to have that much studying today because it's a real DOS, I reckon. To which not a phrase I've ever used.
Yeah, but you should pick it up.
Yeah, this is going to be a real DOS, like a real easy one, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So next time we're on tour, like the first day, like before we have like a show night or whatever, like, today's gonna be a real DOS.
It's going to be a real DOS.
Just a day in the van, no big deal. Before I get some takeaway food.
Right, some takeaway food, play some Top Golf. It'll be great.
It'll be great. A total DOS.
Which, by the way, tickets for our Northeast through the Griffin tour are still on sale.
They are indeed.
Yes.
Yes. A couple of the shows, I think New York and Philadelphia have already sold out. Maybe a third one in there as well.
Is Boston? Boston's close.
Boston is close. DC is close. Richmond is close. Hartford. I can't remember. Anyway, tickets are available. You should go and check it out.
You should go check it out because this is going to be a blast.
Yes, it is. I can't wait. It is going to be so much fun to be back out there hanging out with you guys. But anyway, yeah. So then Hermione, on the other hand, in contrast to Ron's sort of like weak-kneed version of being a prefect, is immediately going to take a fanged frisbee from a fourth year and like basically to Ron's chagrin. Is that the right phrasing here?
Right. Hermione takes it from the kid, and Ron takes it from her.
He's like, excellent. I've always wanted one of these.
And it's she's going to, it says remonstrate to him. It feels like, we're not supposed to do that, Ron, but then she doesn't even get to. So I feel like Ron just gets to keep the frisbee.
Yeah, I know. Although, what do you think a fanged frisbee does? Because like the idea of a frisbee with fangs to me sounds
so much worse. It sounds like a saw blade you're throwing through the air or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want that.
It just seems dangerous. Like, is the objective just like throw it in the air and like let it destroy stuff?
Yeah, I guess. Or like, how would you even catch it? You know, it feels like you'd cut yourself.
It does.
Yeah. Or is it fanged like a clamshell and folds in half, you know?
That would be one of those instances where it's like, I have been picturing it wrong my entire life.
Same.
If that is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, where it's like maybe you like throw a paper airplane in the air, then you throw the fanged frisbee after it and try to Pac-Man the paper airplane.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
That actually does sound pretty enjoyable. That's like pull. So if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. You and I should become magical inventors. It does. It does make that sound.
Yes, there we go. I got there. But here we go. This joke by Ron, excellent. I've always wanted one of these, is the start of the Wan relationship.
I literally wrote Wan
I know.
Born
like
right
here we go.
Yep.
Lavender Brown had apparently found Ron's remark highly amusing. Oh boy, Ron's gonna get a girlfriend.
Oh man, Ron looked rather pleased with himself.
Yeah, well, all right. See, Hermione, some people think I'm funny.
How could they not? I mean, just look at me.
Lavender, listen to this. Don't you reckon Malfoy was just showing off for Parkinson? Knew you'd agree.
Oh, classic.
Classic laugh.
So glad we're best friends all of a sudden.
I know. Then they go into a whole conversation about, but he can't really think we continue care of magical creatures. I mean, when has any of us expressed, any enthusiasm? To which I'm like, okay, first of all, it's not even about care of magical creatures. It's about Hagrid. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Second of all, the three of you spent a good portion of your third year researching court cases for Witherwings and different trials, which to me, call me crazy, sounds like enthusiasm. And if you're like, no, it's about Hagrid, not about the Buckbeak, Witherwings, then I would be like, well, then it's a C previous argument.
Yeah.
Such as taking this class. I don't see why. I honestly don't know why they're dropping it. Like, to me, like I said last week, easy A. Especially like they've also had so much exposure to different magical beasts throughout the years.
Yeah.
Like it is such a, like Harry just did the Sphinx and the Blast-Ended Scroots and the Acromantulas in the maze.
Yep.
Like they had to get past Fluffy. That like they have encountered the werewolves, like there's so many magical beasts in the world that I don't know why they would. This feels so useful.
Yeah, I mean, dragons, centaurs. I mean, I don't know if you already said thestrals, but like, yeah, I mean, just there's so many things that have come up and been relevant throughout the years that it does seem surprising. And then really, even if you go back across it, it's like this year would have been the first year that maybe they could have just had like a standard like class.
Oh, right. There's no way Malfoy's taking it.
No ways Malfoy's taking it, but like basically year one was literally marred by Buckbeak.
Right.
Which was, I say year one, year three.
Yeah.
Year four, you basically have Blast-Ended Scroots dominating the entire conversation.
Yep.
Year five, Hagrid's not even there for like the first month.
Right.
And Grubbly Blank is teaching. And then it's sort of like touch and go for the rest of the year after that. As they like kind of get
because Umbridge is like got him on probation and stuff.
Exactly. Yep. And so it's like, finally, it's like, you know what, guys, maybe Hagrid just sort of like got it down by now.
Got it down.
It could work.
You can have regular classes without the Slytherins bothering you. But nope. And not only that, the other thing is the other classes that Harry's taking are Transfiguration, Charms, Potions, Herbology, and Defense Against the Dark Arts. So I was like, what's the last one? And it's like, those are the 5 core classes, you know?
Right.
It's like that, like you're not taking any electives at this point, you know?
Come on, Harry. You need to be a well-rounded individual, and they don't have woodshop.
Right.
So like,
do something, man.
You should be doing this. And
how many classes does that mean he dropped? It means he drops Divination, Care of Magical Creatures, and Astronomy.
And not Muggle Studies, History of Magic.
And History of Magic. He drops 4 classes this year.
Right.
That is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And then what makes it even worse, though, is that it says neither Harry nor Hermione answered there was no need. They knew perfectly well that nobody in their year would want to continue Care of Magical Creatures.
Oh, so for clarification, do you think that means no 6-year students at all, or just Gryffindors?
I don't know, because I was like, it's like no one in your year at all.
Nobody
has this interest.
That's crazy. Like Hagrid's just like, I just don't even teach year 6 this year.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Like, and then meanwhile, though, what's crazy about it is that like it's almost not even just the like the magizoology angle. Like, you have to imagine that like to be like a wand maker, Ollivander needed to study Care of Magical Creatures.
Right.
You know, like if you're like even Fred and George probably, I mean, not even probably, they absolutely have learned a lot from the likes of,
I know,
doxy eggs,
even like potions, you know,
right? Yeah. It's like there's so many fields of magic that benefit from this, and in like Slughorn, case in point, later on, just looking around the room, he's like at like all of the value
right
in there. It's like, guys, you're sleeping on this course for some reason, and I feel like you've so fiercely defended Hagrid for the past 3 years. It seems unusual to me that you're not. Yeah,
it does seem just outrageous they're not taking this class. I don't get it at all. Like, yeah, it's they should be enrolled. I feel like I had something else to say and I completely lost it. But
well, anyway, yeah, justice for Hagrid.
Justice for Hagrid.
Yeah,
get down there, guys.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, then you've got McGonagall handing out all of the class schedules, which is like, it almost feels like if you go back to like career advice from last year in Order of the Phoenix, it feels like that meeting should be happening more like privately and not as she just basically like walks into the Great Hall as they're wrapping up breakfast to discuss everybody's private grades.
I know, right? Just like in front of everybody. Like they don't have, they come down to breakfast. They don't even have a class schedule yet, you know?
Right, exactly. Yes. Like I don't even know whether or not you could like pull the records for someone's SAT score, like if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where that information lives other than just in like the backs of people's minds.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's like something on your permanent record somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Does the permanent record even exist, Jay?
I don't even know.
Because
I don't know.
I would love to see mine.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like,
Can I see my permanent record?
Wouldn't it be like unbelievable if it was like 2nd grade reprimanded for speaking in class? And it's like, no way.
Wow.
That's
there it
on
is.
there. It's like, who was I even talking to?
Right? Cool.
Yeah. Is there more details? Like, I want to learn about.
Was I funny? Was it a funny reprimand? You know?
Exactly. It's like, was it because I had the whole class, like, in stitches? Like everybody was laughing,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've always wanted one of these fanged frisbees.
Oh, Ron.
Oh, good one.
Man. Anyway, so McGonagall's passing out the class schedules, which was more complicated than usual this year, to which I circled. It was like, for you, Harry, you're not the center of the universe, okay? For the first years, it was pretty regular, I bet. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
She just handed them theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Right. Professor McGonagall needed first to confirm that everybody had achieved the necessary OWL grades to continue with their chosen NEWTs.
Wait, she has to first confirm it? Because when she talks to Harry, she seems like she already knows.
She does seem to already know. Maybe she just like leafed through the results a little bit. They're like, oh, those the Transfiguration OWLs? It's like,
yeah.
Where's let me just cinch my way down. Where's P for Potter?
Potter.
Ooh, I'm so happy. He did it. Yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, anyway, it's also unusual to me as well that like she wouldn't just have like a list and it would just be telling her like actively like Hermione 10 OWLs.
E.
Yeah, exactly. Neville took a little bit longer to sort out. His round face was anxious as Professor McGonagall looked down on his application and consulted his OWL results. Herbology fine, said Professor. She said, Professor Sprout will be delighted to see you back with an outstanding OWL. Which is like, way to go, Neville.
There you go.
He got no.
Yeah.
And you qualify for Defense Against the Dark Arts with exceeds expectations. So we actually...
Problem there. This is such a double standard by Snape because he wouldn't take potion students who didn't get outstandings, but he will take Defense Against the Dark Arts students that got exceeds expectations.
Wow. He's in it for the clout.
He's in it for the clout, you know?
He needs people to know that lots of people want to take his course.
Right.
You know?
Maybe if he did it for only outstandings, it'd be like, I can't do that. Then it'll just be me and Harry.
Yeah, true. Because like Neville and Hermione only got E's.
Right.
And
like,
Ron.
Yeah. There's no way the Slytherins got O's, you know?
That's exactly, you know what? It almost feels like that has to be what's going on here.
Right.
That's like
Harry shows up to Advance the Dark Arts, just him.
Right. It's like, we are not doing this private lessons thing again. We're not doing it.
Snape's like, all right, what's chapter 1? Oh, blood. It's occlumency. Potter, just leave. You know what? Come back after Christmas. All right. I'll figure something out.
We'll circle back then. Oh man. But then you kind of have this like just troubling conversation where unfortunately Neville does not have the proper marks to get into Transfiguration, and basically just being unable to keep up with the coursework going on there. And Neville is just absolutely downtrodden about this.
Yep.
Which I also feel like McGonagall's like reaction to it makes it seem like she does care about her students, even Neville. Who
I think she cares about her students, and I think she like must have not liked Neville's grandmother as a student.
Yes, which is also I feel like we need to get something into that, trying to figure out like how old McGonagall is.
Oh yeah, was she her teacher, or were they just in school together?
Good question.
Yeah,
good question. But yeah, so McGonagall's confused. She's like, "Why do you want to continue with this anyway?" And Neville's like, "Well, my grandmother wants." And McGonagall's like, "It's high time your grandmother learned to be proud of the grandson she's got, rather than the one she thinks she ought to have, particularly after what happened at the Ministry."
Oh, such pride, such pride!
It literally gave me chills when I was reading it. I was like, McGonagall being proud of Neville is almost like an oxymoron a little bit, but it's like it's so nice to see it.
I know, I love it. And this Professor McGonagall had never paid Neville a compliment before. It's like, oh,
yeah,
yay!
It's like, well, howdy.
Yes.
But yeah, Neville does get and exceeds expectations in charms. Why not try for an NEWT and that? And Neville's like, well, my gran thinks that charms is a soft option.
Boy, your gran sounds so lame.
Take charms, said Professor McGonagall, and I shall drop Augusta a line reminding her that just because she found her charms OWL, that the subject is not necessarily worthless.
Oh my gosh, it so sounds like they were in class together.
It does, and I'm trying to think about how this would have worked, because we've done the math before with McGonagall as it pertains to her tenure at Hogwarts. Right. And it's when Umbridge is talking to her about like how long she's been teaching there.
Yes.
And the key thing that we really come down to is that McGonagall's inclusion in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is basically an anachronism. She should not be there.
Right.
Because McGonagall was not that age then.
Right.
And so like, what you have going on here is trying to figure out how old Augusta Longbottom is, because Frank and Alice would have had Neville when they were only like 20 to 21 years old. So they would be quite young.
But they must not be in the same year. Do you think they're in the same year as like the Marauders?
That's a fair question.
Right? Because then it'd be like, oh yeah, it's James and Peter and Sirius and Remus and Frank.
I mean, then you would literally have a situation, where there's like the 4 Marauders and Frank Longbottom, who is not included in the friend group. Yeah. It's a fair point. I guess we don't know exactly what that date range might be like, but the rough idea here was assuming any similarity between James and Lily and Frank and Alice in terms of age. But really what it would mostly do would be like let's just say Augusta was about the same age when she had Frank. That would mean that by the time Neville was born, Augusta would only be like 41, which would mean that like now she'd be like 56.
Okay.
57.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. So it's that I think lands a plausible likelihood that McGonagall and her would have been at school at the same time.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. And they both in Gryffindor, well, McGonagall's in Gryffindor. And since Frank and Alice were in Gryffindor and Neville's in Gryffindor, it stands to reason his grandmother was as well.
It does stand to reason.
So yeah, they could have just been classmates. I've never really thought about it.
I know, yeah. That doesn't seem unusual. Because I feel like the way I think of someone named Gran is like grandmotherly.
Yeah.
And someone in their 50s doesn't necessarily translate to that,
right?
I guess. But broad strokes are never that useful. So anyway, let's continue. So he's gonna take charms, and then you get a quick cut over to Parvati Patil, who's wondering whether or not Ferenz, the handsome centaur, was still teaching divination. To which McGonagall is sort of going to be like, you know what, you're going to be taught by Trelawney. I made that decision right now.
There you go.
Because
Boom.
I could tell you wanted Ferenz, and I have the power to do this. You were the first person I was assigning, and yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
If you want to take the stupid class, you get the stupid teacher.
I know. So wait, I'm trying to figure out what Neville's taking, because he's not taking Transfiguration or Care of Magical Creatures. So is Neville just taking Charms, Herbology, and Defense Against the Dark Arts?
Charms, Herbology, Defense Against the Dark Arts. Because he's not taking Transfiguration or DADA. Or Ancient Runes, Muggle Studies.
I guess he could be taking History of Magic.
He could be taking History of Magic, but you're right. Yeah. So he might just be ending up with like 3 NEWTs.
Right. Yeah. If he passes them all.
If he passes them all.
It reminds me so much of like when you're a senior in college and you can just be like, yeah, I've got like 3 main courses and then a bunch of just random electives that are just sort of fun.
That's right. Yeah. So maybe Neville is taking woodshop on the side.
Yeah, he is. Right. Yeah. He's just down there. I was like, yeah, I've got like Muggle woodshop, but
it's a treat.
It's a treat.
I'm making salt and pepper shakers this week.
It's going to be good.
That's actually what I made when I took woodshop as a kid.
Nice.
I made them on the wood lathe, which is the thing that spins really fast. Yeah, it was really cool. We got to use like calipers to like make sure you were like getting the right width in the right locations.
They had to like drill a hole through the bottom then, I guess.
You sure did. Got to use a drill press for that bad boy.
That's pretty cool, dude. Do you still have them?
I do.
Oh man, do you use them?
I have. The thing is that the holes that I drilled for them are just like a scooch small, and
feels fixable.
It does feel fixable. All I would probably need to do is just use a slightly larger drill bit, and could probably even use a hand drill to do so. So maybe I'll do that and report back.
There you go. All right, sounds good. Can't wait.
Yeah, I know you're on the edge of your seat about it, so
yes.
I'll be sure to keep you posted.
Yep, I definitely am. You're right, and so both Ferenzi and Sybil are teaching divination this year. I can't believe that McGonagall still has this like hint of disapproval in her voice after like the Ministry. And you might like, especially because she just complimented Neville on being at the Ministry. And certainly she knows what happened there. Like, and yet she's still like, oh, divination.
Does she know what happened?
Well, I don't know. I think she knows it must have had to do with a prophecy. I mean, even the Daily Prophet seems to know that.
But she might not know Trelawney is the one who predicted it.
Well, that's true. She might not know Trelawney is the one who predicted it.
And I guess we don't for sure even know, like nobody other than Harry and Dumbledore know, and Ron and Hermione know the contents.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I see where you're coming from, though. It's like clearly the Hall of Prophecy in the Department of Mysteries exists.
Yeah.
Which means that the ability to be a seer is there. However, McGonagall can even still respect that reality or even know that Trelawney did it and know that there is a difference between being a capable seer and being able to like teach anyone else to do it.
That's true. That's true.
She could know Tonks is a metamorph magi and know that it wouldn't matter how many courses she taught, you can't become one.
Right. That's true. That's true. Okay. So I guess I'll give her a pass.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
There we go. And then it says Parvati set off for divination 5 minutes later, looking slightly crestfallen, which doesn't wait for Lavender at all,
Wow.
You'd think, yeah.
Maybe she also likes Ron and she's like jealous much.
Right, yeah. Jeez, I'm not waiting for you, Lavender.
Exactly.
See it up there.
Right.
Yeah.
But so then we get to Harry's. We get the breakdown that he's going to be taking Charms, Defense Against the Dark Arts, Herbology, Transfiguration. All fine. I must say I was pleased with your Transfiguration, Mark Potter. Very pleased. Now, why haven't you applied to continue with potions? I thought it was your ambition to become an Auror.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you thought that, huh? You went to bat for me pretty strong about it.
Yeah. You said you would do whatever it took to get me to become an Auror, and I don't really remember you giving me any potions lessons.
Right.
So really, it's kind of your fault.
Maybe McGonagall is the reason that Dumbledore finally gives Snape Defense Against the Dark Arts, because she's like, I promised Harry that this could be a thing, and so you need someone who doesn't require an O in potions.
Right.
Yeah.
Go get Slughorn.
Yeah. I don't believe that to be true, but it's just me being funny in the moment.
Right. That is, that's like, But that would be her following through on her promise, you know.
It's true. It's true.
Yep. So then we get the word that Professor Snape was teaching the subject, but Professor Slughorn happy to take people who exceeds expectations at OWL. So there you go. There's Snape's double standard again.
That's right.
Or his just sheer determination not to have class with only Harry.
Right. But I do love the fact that she says, do you wish to proceed with potions? Basically given this new information. And Harry's immediate response is yes. Like, that's the kind of thing where I feel like plenty of students could be like, honestly, I kind of got used to the idea of not having so much work to do.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, you're kind of putting me in a position to where I have to like volunteer to work harder. And
right.
I mean, not that plenty of people don't do that, but plenty of people also like would be like, I'm good. You know what? I got over it.
Yeah. You know what? I was disappointed at first, but the more I thought about it, I was like, once I realized I couldn't be an Auror, I started thinking about other things I could do instead. And now I don't really want to take potions, you know?
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So I love the hard commit as soon as the door is open for him. Yeah, and then we get like one final little closing remark here from the McGonagall sort of consult at the breakfast table, which is that they have 20 hopefuls who have already put their name down for the Gryffindor Quidditch team, and that she shall pass the list to him in due course, and he can fix up trials at his leisure.
Nice. So many people signing up, of course, because Harry is the captain this year.
Yeah.
But it is, well, we'll get to Katie Bell in a second, I think. Yeah. Actually, yeah, right here.
Yeah.
So it says they returned to the common room, which was empty apart from half a dozen seventh years, including Katie Bell, the only remaining member of the original Gryffindor Quidditch team that Harry had joined in his first year, which means, you guys, that Katie Bell was a second year who made the team.
She was indeed.
Yeah.
And I had this exact same note because I was like, wow, that's kind of unbelievable. And I was like, oh, but like Fred and George. But it's like, no. Fred and George were third years.
Right.
When they started. So this is kind of interesting because you almost have to imagine that Oliver Wood did hold trials and that Katie had already made the team and that he was still struggling to fill the space of Seeker.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if Oliver does really hold trials, though, because Harry never has to go to any tryouts from like first through ever. He never has to go to tryouts. Like Oliver never holds tryouts for new positions.
He doesn't. And I mean, maybe that's just Oliver sort of being exactly what Katie's about to say, which is that like, Harry's like, oh, Katie, don't be stupid. Like, you don't need to try out. I watched you play for 5 years. And she's like, you mustn't start off like that. For all you know, there's someone much better than me out there. Good teams have been ruined because captains just keep playing the old faces or letting in their friends. And so it's like, on some level, you could think that because Wood would be, okay, so he, in Harry's first year, he's a fifth year. Oliver is because 5th, 6th, 7th through prisoner. Yeah. So that means Oliver got elevated pretty young
to captain.
Yeah. Like he could that means that in their first year, they have no 6th or 7th year members on the team at all.
Well, not necessarily. Like Harry's a 6th year and Katie's a 7th year, but she's not the captain.
No, I know, but everybody else we watch.
Oh, you're right. They don't, no, there's no changes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that
everyone is 5th year and below.
Correct.
Wow, you're right. I hadn't thought about it like that.
It is a very young team.
The very young team, right? Yes. The 6th, how the 6th and 7th years are like, Quidditch is dumb. You guys are so lame.
We're doing
gobstones up here, man. All right. It's great. It like sprays stinky stuff at you. Why? Explain to me how Quidditch is better than that.
Right. maybe Percy like poisoned the well.
Yeah,
Or like the upperclassmen or something. They're just sort of like, I guess so.
Cool purse.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so I do think it's very interesting that Katie made the team as the second year because we just don't really see any sign of that happening. It would be fun to go back to book one and be like, is there any indication at any point in time that Katie hadn't been on the team the year prior?
Right. I mean, there must be because they say Harry's the youngest Seeker in a century. or youngest player in a century.
Correct. This would be whether or not we have like a Flint problem.
Oh.
Where it's like he's like a 6th year, but he's still playing like in Harry's 3rd year. So it's like you can't be a 6th year in Harry's 3rd year.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, weird number math.
I like that she's also like, she's not jealous at all. She says, I thought you'd get that. Well done. It's like, she's the 7th year. She's the most senior member of the team, but she wasn't made captain.
Right.
You know, so it's like, I like that she's not jealous at all, but I don't like her almost false modesty. Like, don't be stupid. You need to, or when Harry's like, don't be stupid. You don't need to try out. And she's like, you mustn't start off like that. And it's like, well, Katie, I hear where you're coming from, and that's appreciated, but like, you made the team as a 2nd year. You're clearly exceptional at Quidditch.
Yes.
Like, no, you've been playing for 6 years now. You're on the team.
That's right. Yeah. You were good enough for Wood. You were good enough for Angelina. You're good enough for me.
Right.
I assure you.
I promise you.
Just don't go like touching any cursed necklaces, you know? We'll be fine.
Don't be weird like that.
Katie, what did you do?
What'd you do?
What did you do?
What did you do?
Yeah. But then Ron obviously is looking a little bit uncomfortable here as well, because the topic of Quidditch is always kind of a tricky one for him. Obviously, he had quite the run at the end of last year, but it's hard to know whether or not that could be carried over into this year.
No, this is also stupid on Harry's part. Harry trying out his best friend Ron after Wood never tried Harry out for 5 years or whatever is so stupid to me. like Ron's on the team, Harry.
But just a shoe-in.
Just on. Don't even worry about it. Like, he has been so supportive of you this entire book, and he's going to continue to be supportive of you in this chapter.
Yeah.
And like, dude, Ron's on the team. You don't even make him try out. What are you doing? I don't understand it. I'm not on board with this.
So Ron should just be on the team. Okay, so we've got
Ron is the hero that won them the cup last year. Right? And Oliver Wood nor Angelina tried out Harry for the team. Right? Harry has had 2 different captains who have been like, nope, you're good enough, Harry. No need to even try out the other seekers.
This is all, you're assuming no McGonagall interference here. Like, I mean, maybe McGonagall is like, listen, you cannot tell, and Harry can never know that tryouts happen. He is on the team no matter what.
He can never know they happen.
She's like, I made a blood oath to James Potter before he died.
Yeah.
His son will play Quidditch.
No, I mean, obviously they're making the right choice, because Harry like basically never loses when it's a fair fight, which it almost never is. And he wins most of the time anyway.
So who would you, so far, I think we would have in for you.
Yeah.
Jay's fantasy Quidditch rather, lineup for Gryffindor includes, we've got Harry at Seeker, Katie at Chaser, Ron at Keeper.
Yeah.
So you got 3.
We got 3 right there.
3 members right there. You throwing Ginny into the mix?
I mean, Ginny's probably going to make the squad. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she has nice skin after all.
She has nice skin.
Okay.
She'll play Chaser.
Right.
So we need 1 Chaser and 2 beaters.
1 Chaser, 2 beaters.
1 Chaser. That's all we're trying out. I mean, you still try out Ginny. She's not been on the team yet. Like, she was like a sub last year.
Was she a sub last year?
I think so. Because she has to play instead of Harry.
But I think she's like a sub after the Fred, George, and Harry all get lifelong bans.
Right.
So she plays 2 of the 3 games.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you still try out Ginny.
Yeah. Okay.
I would give that. Ron's on. You putting Dean on there, or you wanting to kind of like separate church and state there? No, we got to try it. And those other 3 spots, 2 Chasers, 2 beaters, all up for tryouts.
Okay.
There you go.
So you support tryouts, just not for specific people.
Not for Katie Bell and not for Ron.
It's a scandal.
It is hypocrisy.
An outrage.
It is hypocrisy for Harry to hold tryouts when he never had to.
He's not the one who made that choice. It's not hypocritical. It's like, because he would have to have.
It's not paying it forward.
You are right. I am a hardcore playing devil's advocate, and I of course agree with you top to bottom here. But anyway,
what is your argument, Ben? Like, no, Ron, really, not sold.
Well, I think the thing with Ron is that he has the confidence issues. That's it. Like, Cormac really goes up there and like does a pretty good showing.
But how much confidence would it give him to be like, don't even worry, you're definitely keeper?
I mean, it would help.
Yeah, if I'm Ron and I'm the hero, everyone carried me off the field singing Weasley is our king as I hoisted the Quidditch trophy above my head. And then Harry's like, listen, Ron, I know you were the hero last time, but that is no guarantee you're on this team. None whatsoever.
This is a very prove yourself kind of environment. I was talking to Colin Creevy over breakfast this morning. He's thinking about trying for it.
He's thinking about trying, He grew a ½ inch last year, so
dude,
his reach, his wingspan is crazy.
Pure headcanon is that Colin Creevy has not grown since first year and that he is still just a wee lad.
He's like a hobbit.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like one of those things where he dies, RIP, in the Battle of Hogwarts. And like Oliver Wood actually fittingly carries him like a fireman's carry back up the stairs, which is obviously is very sad. But like what's always weird to think about inside of that context is that Colin would have been going into this school year as a 6th year.
Right.
He's like pretty darn grown up. He's almost like a fully qualified wizard.
Right. He's taking his OWLs.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you're not talking about like little squeaky Colin Creevy anymore. Like his like voice came in.
Right. Yeah. he's a full grown teenager now.
A full grown teenager.
Because I guess he's in Ginny's year, right? Because you always think of Ginny as growing up.
You absolutely do.
Yeah. But Colin, nah. He's just a wee little lad.
Exactly. And Dennis somehow smaller.
Yeah. Dennis is still smaller than him.
He's like a 5th grader.
Right. He's like, he's still just getting off the boats every year.
I fell in. Okay, we're way off track here.
We are, yes.
But the track that we are on is entering Snape's first ever lesson as Defense Against the Dark Arts professor.
Yes, and he had imposed his personality upon the room already. It was gloomier than usual as curtains had been drawn over the windows and was lit by candlelight. Ooh, spooky. I know,
crisp.
Yeah. Spooky crisp. Yeah. Snape is also like, I have not asked you to take out your books. So like the exact opposite of how Umbridge starts, which is nice.
Yes, indeed. Although I kind of like the description that you get from Hermione here because like the way I picture it is so like comical because it says Hermione hastily dropped her copy of Confronting the Faceless back into her bag and stowed it under her chair. But I guess it reads as hastily. What I picture is Hermione just like picking the book up like with a deadpan expression, holding it over her bag and just like dropping it and being like, here we go again.
Here we go. All right.
Harry, you going to teach again? Okay.
Yeah. What's the reason? No more Umbridge here.
Yeah, exactly. No point.
Like, I think there is a point, Harry. There is a point.
Yeah. And then obviously Snape starts like going into like his early monologue as he likes to do at the beginning of each course year. And he's like, you have had 5 teachers in the subject so far, I believe.
You believe? Can't you count, dude?
It's like there has been a different Defense Against the Dark Arts professor every single year since you have worked here. There's no way in the world you don't know that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's no you believe. But then, of course, Harry calls him out in a meeting like, you believe. Like, you haven't watched them all come and go, Snape, hoping you'd be next, thought Harry, scathingly.
Exactly. Good use of scathingly.
Yeah.
Naturally, these teachers will all have had their own methods and priorities. Given this confusion, I'm surprised so many of you scraped an OWL in the subject.
Yeah, which is mostly because of Harry, which Snape definitely knows.
He knows, but would never give credit about.
Nope.
Yeah. But then he kind of goes into like this intense sort of like you get a feel for Snape's relationship with the subject because it does feel like his enthusiasm is instantly higher than what I feel like we could recall from potions.
Yeah.
Where it's like the dark arts are many varied, ever changing and eternal. Fighting them is like fighting a many-headed monster, which each time a neck is severed sprouts a head even fiercer and cleverer than before. You are fighting that which is unfixed, mutating, indestructible.
Yeah. And it's like, this is a classic example of like Harry having his big old bias goggles on because it's like this is a fairly like good opening line for your Defense Against the Dark Arts class. Like,
yes,
it is. He's clearly like taking it seriously, but Harry is just like, oh my God, he loves the dark arts. Listen to him talk.
Yes. You're getting a lot of baked in bias from like Sirius, I feel like, especially here, where he like makes the comment that's like Snape showed up knowing more of the dark arts than most of the kids in 7th year or whatever. And so he's like, oh yeah, you just love the dark arts.
Yeah.
My godfather told me so.
Right. Yeah. Then, because like Harry's interpretation of this, it was surely one thing to respect the dark arts as a dangerous enemy. Another to speak of them as Snape was doing with a loving caress in his voice.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's like, I think that's you adding that loving caress, Harry.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of continuing on here, but then he's going to give a list of like different things you may go up against. And this is where you would even think like Snape would have to throw Harry a bone, because he's talking about the Cruciatus Curse, the feel of the Dementor's kiss. And then he goes on to mention Inferi, which Harry technically hasn't faced yet, but he will in this book.
He will. This is just more setup for it.
Exactly. Yeah. But Harry has been, he's had the Cruciatus Curse used on him directly by Voldemort.
Yep.
And he has been at risk of being attacked by Dementors on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, this is where it's like, Snape, you can't really use these examples without like acknowledging the
the
Patronus
ways in which,
in the room.
Exactly. And even he says, your defenses must therefore be as flexible and inventive as the arts you seek to undo. And it's like Harry has had to be very flexible in his fight against Voldemort so far.
That's true.
Like just adapting to every situation on the fly, not relying on a single thing.
Yes. Which is really what the point Hermione's going to make too, where it's like, you don't know what it's like out there when like your life is on the line.
Yeah.
And it's like when he's speaking to the DA, like not even giving his pitch, but just speaking earnestly about what he's experienced.
Right.
And then so sure enough, right away, because the flyers have gone out over the summer and mentioned Inferi in particular, Parvati Patil is going to ask about them and whether or not Voldemort is using them again, to which Snape is going to reply, the Dark Lord has used Inferi in the past. And it's like, we've mentioned this plenty of times, but Snape is one of the few good guy characters who will refer to Voldemort, or he who must not be named, as specifically the Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord, yeah.
I actually went back and was doing a review of this throughout the course of the entire series, and obviously the Dark Lord is mentioned hundreds and hundreds of times throughout everything. But like there are instances like where Dobby, when attempting to warn Harry, would refer to him as like the Dark Lord, but he's like still under the employ of like the Malfoys,
right?
Which may be like how they refer to him.
Oh, most definitely.
But it is pretty scarce few situations where anybody is like referring to him as the Dark Lord who aren't his own followers,
right?
So anyway, we've already talked about that, but I just thought I'd bring it up again.
Yeah, worth bringing up. Then he goes on to say that you are, I believe, complete novices in the use of nonverbal spells. What is the advantages of a nonverbal spell? And then Hermione raises her hand, gets it right immediately, saying in answer that your adversary has no warning about what kind of magic you're about to perform, which gives you a split-second advantage. And Snape is like, yes, that's correct, but it was too correct sounding, so lame.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I wanted to see if I couldn't like see his point of view here a little bit. Because what we're about to find out is that Snape doesn't always agree with the text exactly as it's written in the book.
That's true.
A la the Half-Blood Prince.
Yes.
So like, I almost wonder if like this is a situation where Snape views the book's explanation as like overly clinical, and less like unfixed, mutating.
Right.
Like basically like, he's saying like, yes, you've given the answer. Technically what to say, but do you know what it means?
Right. You know what it means? Could you do it?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that was me almost trying to be like, is this actually like a fairly decent Snape lesson?
Right. I mean, it probably is. Like it's one thing to read about it. It's one thing. It's another to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is basically what Harry says to Hermione when she's trying to get him to teach the DA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It sounds great when you say it like that, but when you're doing it, you don't know what it's like. Yeah.
Right. Precisely. Yep. And I think that like when Ernie shows up to him here in a couple pages, it's gonna be like our first intro to him for this book. It's gonna say Harry didn't get a chance to speak in defense against the Dark Arts this morning. Good lesson, I thought. And it's kind of interesting because I feel like that's like Ernie showing up with far less bias towards Snape.
Like you imagine Ernie has just had pretty regular potions classes because there's no Malfoy and he's not like, it's probably Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws down there and they probably just have regular potions with Snape.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And Ernie is the only person slated to take from Hufflepuff House. So as far as that class would be concerned, Ernie is excelling in potions as well.
Under Snape's like tutelage.
Precisely.
Yeah. Plus, Ernie's someone who really cares about school a lot because he's having that whole conversation with Ron the year before. Like, how many hours of studying you getting in per day? I can do 9 myself.
Exactly. So, there's an interesting lens being placed over this entire lesson, which I just think is kind of like, I think even we, the reader, have that lens.
Yeah. Oh, no. We're like, Harry, you tell him.
He's
no
way,
worst.
There's no way Snape is delivering an excellent lesson on Defense Against the Dark Arts. He sucks. Yeah.
Of course, Snape doesn't really give a more comprehensive answer either. He says, yes, those who progress to using magic without shouting incantations gain an element of surprise in their spell casting. Not all wizards can do this, of course. It is a question of concentration and mind power, which some lack, he says, staring at Harry.
Talking about you.
Remember our legitimacy lessons? Pretty bad.
That's right. Yeah. And sure enough, that is exactly what Harry is thinking about in this moment when it says that Harry refused to drop his gaze, but glowered at Snape until Snape looked away.
Oh, wins the staring contest.
That's exactly what I think we mean when we say that, like, Harry's kind of grown up now. It's like he knows where he stands in this world. And it's like, I'm not a pushover. You can't threaten me with everything. You know it. I know it.
Right.
Like,
he's like, are you talking about me? I can tell you're talking about me.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
And it's like, I'm going to stare you down.
I'm going to stare.
Who's gonna blink? You blinked.
Got him.
Your own hair poked you in the eye, but I'm counting it.
There you go. And then, so Snape has them try and do some nonverbal spell work towards each other. And what I think it's funny is that how he does it, it says, you will now divide into pairs. One partner will attempt to jinx the other without speaking. This is exactly how Harry starts the first DA meeting. He divides people into pairs and they have to do this.
Okay, wow, look at that. You're right. Yeah, it's just another one that's going, it's like, let's start with the basics.
Right.
No other way to do it than to do it.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah. So, but it's all about kind of keeping that silence going. And of course, Harry's thinking to himself, and this is the exact moment about the DA and how he's like, I taught half the class how to do this.
Or how to do a shield charm.
How to do a shield charm. Yeah.
Yeah. But none of them ever cast without speaking. And then a reasonable amount of cheating ensued. I can totally see that happening too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also reminds me of the like how they go about apparition lessons.
Yeah.
Where it's like, teleport yourself into the hoop, and people sort of do like the funky pirouettes,
right?
Like a
jump,
and it's like, I did it. It's like, you jumped into the hoop,
right? Yeah. That's different. That's not the same,
right? Yeah. It's also funny too because it would be like asking like a completely non-magical person to try to teleport. It's like, what would you do? Jump and spin in the air, obviously,
right?
See if it works.
Yeah, you'll go somewhere,
right?
So 10 minutes into the lesson, Hermione managed to repel Neville's muttered jelly legs jinx without uttering a single word, a feat that would surely have earned her 20 points for Gryffindor, which is even that. I'm like, I'm not sure professors are really passing out 20 chunks, that often.
20's hefty.
Yeah.
That is, again, where you go back to the weighted point system where, like, if like in year one, it's like, that's a point from Gryffindor. It's like 1
point.
Yeah. But it's like, you first years can't go ruining it for the 7th years.
Right.
It's like they're still playing the game, but the stakes are lower.
Right. Yeah. Like if you're higher up in the grade, maybe it's more weighted. You get more for that.
Right. Yes. Yep. So then anyway, he makes his rounds. Of course, he's just going to do this anyway. He's just prowling, waiting for the window to open. But Ron is incapable of doing this, steps in against Harry and says, "Here, let me show you." And he turned his wand on Harry so fast that Harry reacted instinctively, which it's like, this is again where it's like, this is not the lesson that Snape is teaching specifically because the goal is nonverbal magic, but what he's trying to get them to understand is how to behave magically instinctively.
Right.
And that is what Harry does.
Yeah.
He's not according to the lesson, but he does successfully block him.
Right. He does block him. So the effect is correct.
Yes.
Except that it knocks Snape backwards. And then everyone, has to start laughing at him and stuff. So
yes.
And then Snape has to downplay it or try and defend himself. He gets very defensive. He's like, "Do you remember me telling you we are practicing non-verbal spells, Potter?" Like, yes, sir. There's no need to call me sir, Professor. Oh, got Got him so good.
Oh my gosh. It's worth reading the entire book series just to get to that moment.
I know.
Like that was so good.
It's such a good bird. That's what they call me, Professor.
I love it so much. Yeah. Ron, Dean, and Seamus grinned appreciatively. It's like good.
Yep.
And right away, as it feels so often the case, Harry has secured detention just to kick things
right
off.
away. Right. In defense against the dark arts, no less.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
I do not take cheek from anyone, Potter, not even the chosen one.
So worth it. So worth it.
It absolutely was worth it.
Yep.
It's the kind of thing where it's like, I will gladly take the detention to have got to own you exactly like that.
Yeah, in front of the whole class. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and Hermione's like, you shouldn't have said that. And he's like, he tried to jinx me in case you didn't notice. Yeah.
Right. Yes. And Harry does have a history with exactly this kind of problem. It's like, I had enough of that during those occlumency lessons. Like, why doesn't he use another guinea pig for a change? What's Dumbledore playing at anyway? Letting him teach defense. Did you hear him talking about the dark arts? He loves them. All that unfixed, indestructible stuff.
Well, I thought it sounded a bit like you.
Like me.
Me?
And even this exchange goes interestingly because she's going to explain, like when you were telling us what it's like to face Voldemort, you said it wasn't just memorizing a bunch of spells. You said that it was just you and your brains and your guts. Well, wasn't that what Snape was saying? And it says that Harry was so disarmed that she had thought his words as well worth memorizing as the standard book of spells that he did not argue.
Oh man, I drew a little heart next to it. I was my goodness.
Right? It's like Harry's a little flattered.
He's a little flattered. Oh my gosh.
It's like,
you remember what I said?
Like, I didn't even know. I didn't realize you're actually listening.
I'm going to make me blush.
Oh man. But before anything else can happen, Jack Sloper is going to come popping up to deliver the first note of the year from one Albus Dumbledore.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
If the name Jack Sloper sounds familiar, it's because it is. He was playing Beater last year and basically was asked, he also goes on to ask, like, when are you going to be holding trials? And Harry's like, well, I don't know yet, but you probably won't make it.
Yeah. Thinking privately, Sloper would be very lucky to get back on the team.
Yeah. And it's like, listen, I've already basically mentally committed to Ron and Katie. And
right.
Probably Ginny.
Right. I have to hold tryouts for some people so it doesn't look that bad,
Right.
Yeah. But you know what? I didn't really get to play with you see, because I got eliminated at the same time. So
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Yeah. Also, I don't know what it is though about the name Jack Sloper, but it sounds like a Quidditch beater name. Like, yeah, I don't know if you ever noticed this like in sports, but sometimes people have names that feel like it's like, yeah, of course you're a wide receiver.
Right.
Like it sounds like you would be.
It sounds like you would be like Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Traveling at max speed at all times.
Exactly. Oh, thanks for noticing.
You're welcome.
Max Verstappen's my favorite F1 driver.
There you go.
I was keeping track.
Yeah.
So Harry looks down, reads the note that says, "Dear Harry, I would like to start our private lessons this Saturday. Kindly come along to my office at 8 p.m. I hope you're enjoying your first day back at school. Yours sincerely, Albus Dumbledore. P.S. I enjoy acid pops."
Nice. Little password action there for you. Yeah. So the whole thing I take away from Snape's class, though, is that like Snape and Harry are really not so different. They just have massive bias against one another, which stops them from like really recognizing how great the other one is.
Yes.
But like the Half-Blood Prince book that Harry gets means that he is able to learn from Snape without the bias in place. And Snape, on the other hand, then teaches very similar to the way that Harry was teaching DA. Like they're sort of pulling from each other a lot. They just don't they can't get on the same page at all.
It's like, what if we could have just seen them be a good team?
Right.
Because it feels like it would have been formidable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But then also, obviously, the timing of this is pretty remarkable because this means that Harry's private lessons with Dumbledore are going to coincide at the exact same time as Snape's recently assigned detention.
Do you think Dumbledore knew that? He was just like, oh, I'll throw him a bone this time.
I don't know. I think that it comes up in the next chapter where I think he's sort of like, I'm trying to see if I can find it pretty quickly here. But Dumbledore does bring up the fact that that he got detention like right away.
Detention already.
You must have been busy. Detention under your belt already. began Harry awkwardly, but Dumbledore did not look too stern. I have arranged with Professor Snape for you to do your detention next Saturday instead. I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance. Yeah. That like Snape is like, oh, by the way, I signed detention to Potter. And Dumbledore's like, no.
Like, no.
It's the first week.
It's the first week.
Stop it.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to assign him class on Saturday instead.
Indeed. With me. With me. I'm so whimsical.
I'm so fun. Yeah. We're going to go swimming in my basin.
Do you have a basin?
Yeah.
No, because you had to borrow mine.
No, that's right. You had to borrow mine. I'm going to be honest. You left some greasy memories in there, Severus. You forgot to group them all out. And last time I went swimming, oh my God, some weird things happened to you, man. I did not need to see that or no.
Oh, man. All I can think of the word skinny, pallid legs.
Skinny and pallid legs you had as a teenager. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
I'm letting it go.
I'm letting it go. I deleted that memory. You can't get it back. Okay.
Graying underpants.
Graying underpants. It's over. It's over. Don't worry.
We had house elves, you know.
Yeah.
They can clean that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can't give them clothes, you know. Freeze them.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Never mind. Let me reverse.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked.
That wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Easy to free that house elf.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then that would have been rude, apparently. To the house elf, even though freedom is desirable.
Yeah.
Don't let the house elves brainwash you. They don't know what's good for them.
Oh, complicated. Anyway, where are we?
Ron is like, acid pops, and Harry's like, it's the password. Duh, don't you know anything about Hogwarts, man? It's always candy. That's like his thing. You don't even know Dumbledore like I do.
You know what came to mind with this though is that when they're handing out the items from Dumbledore's will next year, and like the Scrimgeour as asking Ron if he had a particularly close relationship with Dumbledore,
right?
Harry like thinks privately to himself that he wasn't sure that Dumbledore and Ron had ever had a private conversation ever.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is really like the difference between the two of them.
Right.
Harry knows exactly what acid pops means.
Right.
Ron has to ask.
Yeah, this is the difference. This is why it's weird that Ron got the Deluminator.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So they're trying to figure out what he's going to be teaching them, though. Said Ron thought it most likely to be spectacular jinxes and hexes, the type Death Eaters would not know, which is it like, it's interesting that it's phrased like that. Like, the types the Death Eaters would not know, because the prophecy says that Harry will have power the Dark Lord knows not. And so in a way, Ron is right, because what he's going to eventually teach him is that like, love, yes, you can love or whatever.
Right.
You know,
big
like,
deal.
Big deal. Yeah. But that is indeed the kind of power he's teaching him. So Ron is sort of right. But then Hermione is like, well, probably really advanced defensive magic. And it's like also kind of right. Like it's nothing like casting spells per se. Yeah. But it is like he teaches him more about like the sacrifice, and teaches him about how to defeat Voldemort and stuff like that. So it's like it kind of works out that way, but not in the way either of them are imagining.
Do you think that part of his lessons would include like when Ron collects the sword from the bottom of the pool in the Forest of Dean, like Harry knows that Ron has to be the one to destroy the locket, and he's like, Dumbledore had taught him enough about certain kinds of magic. Like, do we think that constitutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's pretty. It's like offensive defensive magic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
It's like you're destroying something with a sword, which sounds offensive, but the act of doing it is defensive.
Yeah. I mean, the locket's been attacking them the whole book, so
right. Yeah,
it's also, you know,
you're allowed to punch back.
You can punch back in some way, right? Yeah, you can't throw the first punch, but
that's right. Okay, so then we scoot forward because we finally have double potions. Although double potions, I feel like we have to hard commit to the idea that double potions is a double block,
not double class size,
because
yes.
We are about to get a breakdown that there are a dozen students who are taking the NEWT level, which are going to include 4 Slytherins, of which I think we will be able to suss out
3.
3.
And then it can really only, unless there's other unnamed ones, it's probably Pansy Parkinson, because the only other one we know would be Millicent Bulstrode.
Okay, so we have Draco, Blaze, and Not and Pansy Parkinson,
right.
Most likely,
possibly Millicent Bulstrode, but not Crabbe and Goyle,
right? Exactly.
Or other unnamed 6th year Slytherin
could also be the case.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. We have 4 Ravenclaws, which I think we can at least count in Terry Boot and Michael Corner.
Yep.
And then maybe 2 unnamed. We have 3 Gryffindors, which are going to include obviously Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Yep.
And then 1 Hufflepuff, which is going to be Ernie McMillan.
Bam. There we go. Dozen students taking potions this year.
That's right. Yep. Just incidentally, this is a question that we were asked on tour on one of our trivia things, and you got all of those right.
Oh, did I?
Yes, indeed.
Like how many people from each?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it was how many were attending the first DA meeting.
Oh, it was the first DA meeting. I'm sorry. I tried to give you a false accolade.
Oh.
It was impressive either way.
Yes, thank you.
You're
I think
very
I think it
welcome.
was the final question on tour in Los Angeles, and somehow I got it right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Then we have one of me and you's just all-time favorite lines.
Oh, you do the honors, please.
Yes. Didn't get a chance to speak with you in defense against the dark arts this morning. Good lesson, I thought. But shield charms are old hat for us old DA lags.
Us old DA lags.
Oh my gosh. If you've heard us quote this, that is why. We are obsessed.
Love this line.
With this line.
Ernie McMillan, this is your line. The Jim Dale delivery in the audiobook is top notch.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I love the idea that he's saying us old DA lags as if like you go way back and it wasn't 1 year.
Right. I know. It sounds like they've just like they're like hanging out after a fox hunt at the country club, you know?
That is exactly what it sounds
Remember when we were in that frat together back in college, old sport, you know?
Cheers, clink.
Clink, clink. Let's go drink small glasses of scotch.
Port, even. They come in very small glasses after dinner, like a dessert beverage.
Yes. Oh, man. Port's good.
Port is good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then the dungeon door opened and Slughorn's belly preceded him out of the door as they filed into the room.
That's how you want to be known.
Yeah. He greeted Harry and Zabini with particular enthusiasm. Oh, Zabini.
Yeah. We knew that one.
Oh, we said Blaze.
said
I'm
Blaze,
sorry.
yeah.
My mind did a trick on me. Okay, yeah. Harry and Zabini. And the dungeon was most unusually already full of vapors and odd smells.
Already brewing some potions here. Hooray.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's say so. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are going to sit with Ernie, and then all the Ravenclaws will sit together. All the Slytherins will sit together. And they're sitting next to a gold-colored cauldron that was emitting one of the most seductive scents Harry had ever inhaled. It somehow reminded him simultaneously of treacle tart, the woody smell of a broomstick candle, and something flowery he thought he might have smelled at the burrow, which is Ginny.
Although, now that I'm thinking about it, it says the gold-colored cauldron. But they must be sitting next to Amortentia.
Right. Like the Amortentia is in the gold cauldron.
Okay, that's the mild confusion there because
Yeah.
you think gold and Felix Felicis
Right.
go together like
Yes.
gold and gold leaf.
Yeah. Okay. But so then what I found interesting about this is that it says he found he was breathing very slowly and deeply and that the potion's fumes seemed to be filling him up like drink. A great contentment stole over him, which to me, it screams to me like, Imperious Curse / Vila magic, but now in like potion form.
Yes.
Right? Because so my question then is like, is Love Potion basically just like the Imperious Curse? Like it in the same way that like the Vila magic feels like whenever it's described and you look at its comparison next to the Imperious Curse, it's like, yeah, they basically are like casting a light Imperious Curse, but the only command is you love me.
Yes.
And it's like exactly that same thing with the Love Potion. Like it makes you feel perfect and content and blissful. And it only has one command, which is like this person.
Yes, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense. Especially because like when Ron takes it, it seems like he enters like an almost like dreamlike state, which is sort of how like the Imperious Curse is described. The other thing that's kind of curious about that is that we also, amongst the line of potions we're about to see, we have Polyjuice Potion. And in order for it to work, you have to take a piece of substance from the person you're attempting to turn into as like a specifying requirement.
Right.
And when Romilda Vane is going to plant the chocolate cauldrons on Harry, Ron accidentally ends up eating them, but still his love is directed specifically at Romilda Vane.
You think there was some like Romilda hair in there?
I think there almost must be.
Right.
Like, I don't know about hair specifically, but like
something.
Because Ron,
Spit?
it's maybe it's
Just spits in the batter.
blood.
Blood. Oh God, even
No,
worse.
It can't be blood.
Can't be blood.
But the point is that like it's not like the first person Ron sees. It is the person who delivered the product.
Right.
Which also makes you think that like whatever Fred and George are selling at Weasley's Wizard Wheezes must require an additional step before they would work as desired.
Right. You got to put a bit of yourself in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is very interesting to like kind of wonder out. Like it's almost drinkable Imperious Curse with like a caveat.
Yeah. The caveat being the only command you can give them to do is to like you.
Is to like you.
Yeah. But I mean, that's basically because like that is effectively how Merope Gaunt is going to get Tom Riddle to fall in love with her. Well, not really fall in love, but it's like he's basically under a spell the entire time until she like stops giving it to him.
Right.
You know?
And then as soon as he's out of it, he's like, no,
I don't think so.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. We'll come back to that for sure in just a minute as we talk a little bit more. But I also like the three things that Harry dials in on. We know the treacle tart is kind of like his favorite, the woody smell of a broomstick handle, that the, Quidditch is obviously his favorite thing. And then the something flowery. I kind of like the fact that he doesn't actually know how to assign it, although the payoff for that will literally be in the same chapter. So we'll come back to that as well. So then Slughorn is going to assign everybody to pull out their copies of Advanced Potion Making, which apparently has been the year 6 or OW or NEWT level textbook for like 20
a very long time.
years.
Yeah, at least when Snape was in school.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is crazy because for all the like additions Snape makes to his copy of this book, like I can't believe Snape never wrote his own book, you know?
It is highly surprising. Yeah, because it seems like, I mean, it seems like he just knows better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But sure enough, though, the problem with the book obviously is the subject of this entire story, which is that Harry doesn't have one, and so we have to get one from the store cupboard, basically.
Yes.
Which means that Slughorn is going to hand out 2 very battered-looking copies of the book by Libacious Borage, which he gave to Harry and Ron, along with 2 sets of tarnished scales.
Boy, what a pivotal moment for the entire story here that Harry is handed the correct book.
It's very true. It's very true.
We're on big coin flip situation here.
It is. It is. Although maybe it was just lucky.
Maybe it was just lucky. Yep. You're right. I get it. Because of that. There was something else that was like just lucky. The other page, it said something about being lucky. I think it was when he got out of detention for the thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because Dumbledore's class.
Yeah. I think it is described. I was like, yeah, it's being peppered in there.
Right. Yeah. Harry's got a little luck going his way already.
No doubt.
All right, so Slughorn has prepared a few potions for you to have a look at. Can anyone tell me what this one is? He indicated the nearest cauldron by the Slytherin table.
Yeah, and then Hermione, of course, is going to just beam her hand into the sky. It's Veritaserum, a colorless, odorless potion that forces the drinker to tell the truth. And unlike Snape, Slughorn is very impressed that she's able to recite the textbook answer.
That's right. Very good, said Slughorn happily. Now, he continued, pointing to the cauldron nearest the Ravenclaw table. Do you think each of these is supposed to represent each of the houses at least a little bit? Because they're like... You've got Veritaserum aligned with the Slytherins, which feels like a very like, spy
kind of table.
I guess. Yeah, like sort of like.
I think it would have made more sense if the Polyjuice potion was on the Slytherin table, just because Draco was going to steal some.
That's true. That's true.
Because then it would have been much easier for him to steal. Also, though, Draco is going to work so hard this class to like try and win the Felix Felicis. And then he doesn't win it, so he's just sort of out. But then you'll later learn that he did steal some of the Polyjuice potion from this class. So it's like, why didn't he try and steal some of the Felix Felicis? You know?
It's a good question.
Like, that seems like, dude, go for that one.
Right. Well, it wasn't near his table, Jay.
I guess not, but neither was the Polyjuice.
That's true. Okay, so then we're going to move on to the potion near the Ravenclaw table, which is going to be Polyjuice potion, which is, of course, the slow bubbling mud-like substance in the second cauldron. And Harry does not present Hermione for getting credit for answering this question, even though he also knew the answer, because she, after all, was the one who had succeeded in making it back in their second year.
The 3 of them made it together. It's definitely like it was like a group project, but like one of us did all the work,
Yeah, we all got A's, but
Yeah, we all got A's. And then, I mean, to be fair, me and Ron actually drank the stuff.
Exactly.
Successfully broke into a common room and proved nothing. But
yeah. but we were there.
But we did it. We tried, okay? She didn't. I mean, she got turned into a cat, sort of. It was weird. She would have done it, but was unable to, so she doesn't get the credit.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now this one here. Yes, my dear. Hermione's hand had punched it there again. It's Amortentia. It is indeed. It seems almost foolish to ask, but I assume you know what it does.
Yes.
It is the most powerful love potion in the world. Quite right. You recognized it, I suppose, by its distinctive mother of pearl sheen, which I think just a little piece of trivia there. And the steam rising on its characteristic spiral, said Hermione enthusiastically.
Right. and it's supposed to smell differently for each of us, according to what attracts us. And I can smell freshly mown grass and parchment and Ron.
Ron.
And, yeah. And she doesn't say it out loud.
What do you think Ron smells like?
Probably something flowery that might have reminded her of the Burrow.
Probably so. Yeah, it's a good point now that you mention it. An apple orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just think it's funny that she stopped there because for some reason I would associate the freshly mown grass with Ron, even though there's no reason to at all.
That's got to be like a muggle thing, you know?
It does. Ron is just giving the son who had to mow the grass.
Right.
Like I can like picture his grass stained trainers as if like this is just part of the canon.
Yeah. But do you think wizards even have like lawnmowers though?
I doubt it.
I know. They probably just cast a spell out there, you know? Clipped. Woo, man, that was easy.
Also, the top 3 inches of all the grass.
Yeah. So many grass cuts.
Yeah. Oh, man. So then Slughorn, though, is going to zero in on Hermione because she has now colored him impressed.
Mm-hmm.
May I ask your name, my dear? Hermione Granger, sir. Granger. Could you possibly be related to Hector Dagworth Granger, who founded the most extraordinary society of potioneers?
Yeah. I don't think so, sir. I'm muggle-born, you see.
Yeah. Although that's probably a pretty good guess. That's like one of those like votes in camp, like, is Hermione a wizard?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Who was this Hector Dagworth?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is also where Malfoy leans close to Not and whispers something. So that's how we can confirm a third Slytherin.
There we go. Yes, indeed. And so then right away, though, Slughorn is going to use this new information to suss out a different form of connection to Hermione, which is via Harry. And he's going to say, oh, ho, one of my best friends is Muggleborn, and she's the best in our year. I am assuming this is the very friend of whom you spoke, Harry.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Look at that. He got the sir right this time.
Yes. You're right. Got it for Slughorn.
Right on cue.
There you go. This is like one of the best ways if you want, like complimenting other people who are not present to other people and then that compliment getting back to them. That's the best.
It is the best because it's not just like, oh, you're not just being nice to my face. You were nice about me to someone else, and now they're telling me that you were nice to them.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's got to be authentic then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you weren't planning this whole thing out, you know?
Right. Yeah. But here we go, Jay. Well, take 20 well-earned points for Gryffindor, Miss Granger.
There you go. Any reasonable teacher.
Any reasonable
teacher.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. There you go.
We're fully weighted into NEWT courses now.
We are, yeah. We're 20 points up.
Right, exactly.
Well done, Hermione.
Yep.
Yes. And then Hermione said, did you really tell me the best of the year, Harry? Best of the year? Oh, Harry. Ron is over there like, what? What's so impressive? What's so impressive about that?
You are the best of the year.
I told him.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the matter?
Yeah. If he'd asked me. The funny thing is that in the moment when Harry says this to Slughorn hasn't asked him. Harry has interjected it.
Right.
Basically standing up for Muggleborns.
I know.
In the moment.
So it's really like a double compliment. It's like, not only am I saying that you were the best, I was also standing up for your people. You know?
Exactly. I see you.
I see you, Hermione.
Yeah. So I got to the end of that little blurb and I was like, y'all know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Y'all know, I'm not going to say it.
You guys know.
Y'all know what I'm thinking.
We all know. It's all there on the paper, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then here you go. Slughorn even says that Amortentia is probably the most dangerous and powerful potion in this room.
Yes.
Which, like, just for record, the Imperious Curse is one of the unforgivable curses, which will earn you a life sentence in Azkaban.
Correct.
So quite dangerous itself.
Yeah. So we've actually made an entire video about this once upon a time. And the idea is that, like, in addition to Slughorn hiding the secret about telling Tom Riddle about Horcruxes, specifically like how many of them would be like most powerful and everything, the other thought here is that Slughorn had another role in the creation of Lord Voldemort because he likes to collect people of importance. But we also know that, like, as like a Slytherin and sort of like almost somebody who is willing to adopt a more modern, more inclusive version, as time went on in terms of like who he thought were like good students.
Yeah.
It's possible that he would have focused in more on Slytherins in the earlier days.
Right.
And Merope Gaunt, while maybe not necessarily having like that sparkle about her that so many of his more modern collected people have.
Yeah.
This would have been like a lot earlier in his career. And she is a direct heir of House Slytherin.
Right. Of Salazar Slytherin himself.
Right. So the idea here would be, is it possible, because Merope otherwise is not described as being like a particularly like gifted witch, and yet she somehow manages to create Amortentia to serve to Tom Riddle.
Right.
And it works. And it's one of the most difficult things to make, but she does it. So
but she does it.
Was Slughorn somehow involved, like in a way of collecting Merope, an heir of Slytherin, like helping her create Amortentia?
Right.
And maybe not having any idea the possible ramifications it could have. But he does then go on to say, when you have seen as much of life as I have, you will not underestimate the power of obsessive love.
Yeah, like Merope for Tom Riddle Jr. or Senior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yep. And what's interesting about that too is that like he just said, or he will say that it is not actually capable of creating love, but he says the power of obsessive love.
Right.
Which is like, this is Merope to Tom, not Merope's usage on Tom, thus creating infatuation back to Merope.
Right.
Are we following?
Yeah, it's the power of obsessive love. It's because she is obsessively in love with him.
It's so much so that she went on to create something this dastardly.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I feel like we explained that in such a disjointed way, but hopefully people followed.
I think they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Slughorn, this is like the showman in him.
Yes.
He's like, and now it is time for us to get to work. And Ernie is not missing a beat. And he's like, sir, you haven't told us what's in that one. And this potion is splashing merrily. It was the color of molten gold.
Oh.
Large drops were leaping like goldfish that were possibly named either Trousers or Francis.
Yes. Trousers or Francis.
Above the surface, though not a particle had spilled. Oh ho, said Slughorn again. Harry was sure that Slughorn had not forgotten the potion at all, but had waited to be asked for dramatic effect.
Yeah, quite the showman indeed. That's also what I wrote right there.
Yes,
Boom.
yes indeed. He goes on to explain, that one, ladies and gentlemen, is a most curious little potion called Felix Felicis.
Yeah, and now, of course, Hermione's like, oh, no way, it's liquid luck. It makes you lucky.
Yeah.
Right, and now the whole class is like, now, wait a minute. Hold on. Now you've got my attention.
Right.
Yep. So Harry could see all Harry could see was Malfoy was the back of his sleek blonde head because he was at last giving Slughorn his full and undivided attention. And so he gives her another 10 points. Yay. Hooray. Hermione already making up for all the negative 70 apparently Gryffindor started in, even though you can't do that.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Good for her. Good for her.
Yep.
But yes, and then you kind of get like some of the limitations because it's almost a time turner problem right away where it's like, if you're going to introduce it, it's like, yeah, but why wasn't it used like in all these different places?
Right.
Like Slughorn is gifted, but there are other gifted wizards who probably could have made it.
Right.
But basically it's like it's desperately tricky to make, disastrous to get wrong. And if you do get it right, all of your endeavors will tend to exceed. And then of course Terry Boot right away is going to be like, well, why don't people drink it all the time, sir? And he's like, well, it's highly toxic in large quantities, but taken sparingly and very occasionally. And then Michael Corner's going to chime in. Have you ever taken it, sir? Twice in my life. Once when I was 24, once when I was 57. 2 tablespoons taken within breakfast. 2 perfect days.
Well, I would so love to know what happened on those days.
That feels like novella territory.
It does. It's like, what was happening when you were 24? And but man, when he says and taken very occasionally, he means very occasionally because he has got like huge gaps between his 2 swallows.
Yes, indeed. Yep. I mean, maximum amounts of time here. Man, the 24 one could be like, ran into the heir of Slytherin. Could you believe it?
Right. I know. Yeah.
It's like,
taught her how to make this very potion over here in one afternoon. Couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe she could pick it up right away.
Yes. Must have been that Slytherin blood in her veins.
That's right. Yeah. Then you have another little showman moment, but it's kind of funny because it's hard to know which way it goes because it's going to say, he gazed dreamily into the distance, whether he was play acting or not. Harry thought the effect was good.
Yeah.
I'm like, it seems so unlike Harry to buy into such like a gimmick as to what Slughorn could be doing here. So it's like, it must be genuine.
Right. Yeah, well, the effect was good. I mean, it's like he knows what he's doing, though.
He does.
Yeah, Harry's gonna have a lot of this kind of observation, like when he's watching Tom Riddle talk to, I think it's Hepzibah Smith. He's like, it was very well done, Harry thought.
Yes, you're right.
It's like he's really good at picking up on other people trying to get people to think other things.
Right. Yeah. Maybe Harry's got like enough of like a suspicious eye towards things where he's like, what are you actually trying to do? Because I know you have like an ulterior motive.
Right.
And you're delivering it so well that it's hard to see it.
Can't trust anyone until you know what their true motive is,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that like a hyper cynical way to look at the world?
Oh, no, that's a quote from Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Very good. But then Slughorn is going to announce that a tiny bottle of Felix Felicis will be the prize that he is offering for this lesson.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude, that is a massive prize.
Massive prize.
Absolutely huge.
I know. It's like, I love how suddenly potions class is like finally interesting.
Yes.
And they're like, this is what I love about Slughorn. He's such a good teacher.
Yes.
Like you get to see him do a lot of teaching,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But Jay, we're about to cook meth, man.
We are here. We are doing it.
It's happening. It's
It is
supposed
happening.
to be blue.
Yes.
Or in this case, lilac, I think.
Lilac, yes.
Anyway, we'll get there. Okay. So the lesson is assigned. How do you win my fabulous prize? Well, by turning to page 10 of Advanced Potion Making, where they're going to try to make a draft of living death.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes.
It's a piece of trivia that I get wrong every time.
Yep, draft of living death. That's what they're making the first time. I guess it just actually makes you really, it's really a sleep potion.
Okay. Yes. Snow White maybe knows a thing or two about it.
Yeah, it took a little too much.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. And then this is the rules are apparently they're using British Bake Off rules where they don't have enough time to do it. And he's like, I do not expect a perfect potion from anybody. And everyone can glance around, the tent and see what the rest of the class is doing.
Right. But whoever does the best gets Star Baker.
Exactly.
And also a magic fluid that allows whatever you want to have happen.
He's got big, like Paul Hollywood energy.
He does.
Yeah.
Do you think he has piercing blue eyes?
Slughorn?
Yeah. Do you think he gives out the occasional handshake?
I think he probably does.
Anybody who is living in the cross section between Bake Off and Harry Potter right now is like living for this moment.
But like that's probably a lot of people because they're both like British things.
They are British things.
Yeah.
And if you've never watched Bake Off and you like think it's like you're too like something for it, you got to give it a shot because it is just delightful.
You're not too something for it.
You're not too something for it. Yeah.
It's got the new season's got to be coming out soon.
Surely.
Yeah. Where is it? I want to see. I love Bake Off. Anyway, there's not enough rules and you can see what everyone else is doing. It's just like Bake Off. There's not enough time and you can see what everyone's doing.
Right.
Totally Bake Off. I wouldn't even be surprised if this was inspired by that. How long has that show been on?
That's go back and figure out when the start of Bake Off occurred and when this chapter was published.
Yeah.
We have do the two things align? Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, Malfoy though immediately is going into like hyperdrive about this.
Right.
He is like, okay, this is very important.
Like, this is an unexpected potential boon I could get here. He really wants that lucky day. So I think a fun what if would be like, what if Malfoy did win the Felix Felicis,
Oh, that is very good. Okay.
Right.
We're going to have to give that some contemplation.
Yeah, we'll have to give that some thought at some point.
Yes. But so then Harry cracks open his book and to his annoyance, he saw that the previous owner had scribbled all over the pages.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
gross.
You know what's funny is that what's about to be explained here is something that I feel like I experienced with my own textbooks growing up, where like you would be assigned a textbook that had been assigned to like 10 people before you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you would get to like the like little quizzes at the end of like a reading selection in a literature book or whatever. And it would be like, fill in the blank answers. And the previous owner had filled in the blank.
Like on the page.
Page, like with pencil or whatever. And I could never not trust the answer as soon as I'd seen it. It's like somebody would say, the green is meant to represent blank.
Right.
And it's like jealousy. And I'd be like, oh, it's got to be jealousy.
Yeah.
It's like, now I can't think of any other option.
Right. Yeah. So would it work for you?
I feel like it would work like 9 times out of 10, which is weird because it's like, that means you're just trusting at random some other student who you don't know.
Right. I used to, this was, I don't know if you ever got any textbooks like this, but I would sometimes get a textbook from, a previous student and you'd get to like a page, and like in the corner it would say like turn to page 67, and then you turn to page 67, and it would say like turn to page 39. You go to page 39, and it would do that like 3 or 4 times, and eventually it would get to the end and it would say like you're cool or something.
Oh, man.
It would be like they said you had a little like journey through the book.
That's
to
fun.
go find their notes all over the place. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's just like good old fashioned harmless like delight.
Yeah, vandalism. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vandalism.
Yeah.
The best kind. Of
the best vandalism is very polite.
Exactly. Just ask Banksy.
Right. He gets it.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay. But so Harry then though is sort of finding himself in a position where it's like, it's almost hard to even like read the pages because there is so many annotations included, from this previous owner of the book.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always find endlessly interesting is that if this is Snape's own personal copy of the book, like it's not hard to believe that it would have been in the dungeon while he was teaching down there. What is hard to believe is that he would leave it behind.
That he leaves it behind. Yeah. It is hard to believe. Unless it's not that you couldn't have seen this particular situation coming either, I guess. That like if Dumbledore was like, leave your potion book, Snape, or whatever.
Right. I mean, certainly that would be like if you wanted to like mark this like a Dumbledore's big plan type of situation.
Right. Or like Dumbledore realized that like, oh, Harry wasn't going to be able to take potions, but now he is going to be able to take potions, but Snape won't be there. So you could
certainly suggest that between McGonagall and Dumbledore that this could have been like capable of being sniffed out, because we even talked about how she doesn't seem to know other people's grades, but she is very proud of Harry's marks and Transfiguration.
That's true.
Beforehand. So like if you're looking at it and you're sort of like, okay, McGonagall's talking to Dumbledore and she's like, Harry really wants to be an Auror. I got into a whole thing with Umbridge about it. And
Dumbledore's like, an Auror? Really? Has he considered wand making?
Or Defense Against the Dark Arts.
I've got a Quidditch. Feel like they're going to have a position opening here recently, soonish, that I think he could probably take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, exactly. But, so you could easily go through like these steps here, because even like the misdirect on like whether or not Harry's going to be able to take potions, like if Dumbledore just told him this is an old potions master, he's going to be resuming that role over the summer because Harry's there for the recruitment, then like Harry may be like, oh, I can probably go ahead and get my potions book before I go back to school.
Right.
And yet he specifically leaves that information out.
Right.
But then McGonagall would be like, well, he's going to want to take potions because he wants to be an Auror, and normally he wouldn't be able to because Snape doesn't accept it.
Right. This would just be, well, I mean, I guess you could say Dumbledore doesn't tell him, because then he'd also have to tell him that Snape was teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts. Maybe that's what he's really concealing.
Like he doesn't want Harry to know that and be like mad at him to his face about it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair point. All I'm trying to say is that like there actually is a strategy where this is on purpose.
I agree. It could be on purpose by Dumbledore.
Yep. Because all of the required information is actually there. It's all present.
Yes.
So like McGonagall would be like, he's 100% going to take potions if we give him the opportunity to take potions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, he has to go get some Valerian root, which I looked up. Valerian roots are actually real. They are not a fictional magical thing, and they are indeed used to help with sleep, anxiety, and stress.
How about that?
So it makes pretty good sense that they're in this particular potion.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so then we get like one of the depictions that's actually shown in the film, which is going to be the first tip that Harry tries, which is crushing his Sapophoros bean. Thank you. With the side of the silver dagger rather than cutting it.
This is like, I don't understand why this would make a difference, and does it have to be silver?
I don't think the silver matters. I suspect that the silver is just sort of like in your like toolbox for potions, you would have a silver dagger. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like it's like the one you have.
That's one you have. Okay.
Yeah, that's my thought there.
That's your thought.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it has to be silver.
Oh, you do think it has to be silver?
Yeah.
Like
there's something about it.
Like, okay. I mean, silver is normally a way to like attack like werewolves, right?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Silver bullets.
Silver bullet.
Vampires.
Oh.
I think it's werewolves.
We could explore, I guess is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, the Sapophoros bean.
Oh, already did. Don't worry.
Oh.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
Please lay it on me.
I will, Ben, because it is not pretty obvious what it's about.
Okay.
Okay. Sapophoros beans, unlike the Valerian roots, are fictional items.
Okay.
So these are now magical. And what they do is that they make you forget things if you drink them like if you just took the bean and just drank the liquid by itself, it would make you forget stuff, right?
Okay.
So there we go.
Yep.
But also, it is adding of the Sapophoros bean to the potion that turns it lilac, which is Gilderoy Lockhart's favorite color. And Gilderoy Lockhart is someone who makes people forget stuff.
Oh!
I was like so happy when I was like, are the Sapophoros beans a Lockhart reference? Because they totally are. This is why his favorite color is lilac. Because Sapophoros beans make stuff that color.
Wow.
It's so fun.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that feels like a playful little like Easter egg that like is almost like woven into the fabric, meant to be found only by those who are looking for it.
That's I found it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. But of course, so Harry does crush it with the side of a silver dagger. The thing to me, okay, so we recently made a video that was sort of like going into this idea, like what if the Half-Blood Prince isn't actually Snape, but Snape stole the book and then made some of his own annotations, because there's no way that he doesn't invent Sectum Sempra because it's so very Snape coded.
Yeah.
But it's entirely possible that if his goal was to impress Lily Evans, who Slughorn seems to regard as like the dab hand at potions from their year, of which Snape otherwise goes on to be a potions master.
Right.
Then maybe what Snape is actually trying to do is impress Lily by getting James's book, which is full of all of these types of like tips and tricks, because then it explains why he left it in the cabinet, because it's not his own book. It's a book that he probably resents because he had to look to James Potter to get help to impress Lily, something he wasn't happy about doing. But then the other thing too is that Harry is learning from Snape directly here and through his writing. But the way that Snape teaches is by putting all of his instructions on the blackboard. And if Snape knows better than the book, then he would have all of these tips and tricks. So if anything, if you were to imagine like a potion making contest between Hogwarts, Durmstrang, and Beauxbaton, for example, like not Triwizard Tournament, just a potion making contest, it seems like Hogwarts students should be like incredible.
Right. They've got this master potion maker.
They have a master potion maker who has all the bizarre tips and tricks that make all of them better, not relative to each other, but relative to those who don't have the tips and tricks.
Right.
But they should all share this. They should all be exceptional at potions, and yet they aren't.
Right.
Only 12 students make it into the OWL year.
Right.
Or any WT year.
Any WT year. Yeah. Like Snape should actually be a really amazing potions teacher, because he can be like, now, this is where I disagree with Libatius, because he says only turn it 7 spins, wait a few seconds, then do it again. I say we add in a clockwise turn at that point.
Yes.
Now, the reason this works is because blah, 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 blah.
Yes. Here's the underlying theory why I chose to add this additional like flourish.
Right.
And like literally what he could even do in a phenomenal lesson that he could do is go up in front of the class and say, here is the textbook. I'm going to have my star pupil, Hermione, do it right next to me. She's going to follow the textbook. I am going to be doing everything alongside her with my modifications. We will compare notes at the end of the lesson. And that would be so instructional, so informative, so amazing.
Yep.
It's like, oh my gosh.
There's no reason the potion master shouldn't be like at the front of the class making the potion while the students are doing it too.
It would literally like be going to like a paid cooking course where like they're making the filet mignon or whatever at the front alongside you.
Yeah.
It's a bad example because it's basically just cook it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like, all right, everyone get your beans ready, and we're going to crush them right now and add, right? This is the amount. Everyone do that. Good. It should be this color. Anyone not that color? Okay. That's the problem right there. I'll tell you about that after class. I know what happened, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, if anything, potions feels like a class that's incredibly easy to coach.
Right.
Because like he knows all the things. He knows like where Harry goes wrong every time Harry makes a mistake.
Right.
And it's like, if you know, then teach.
Why aren't you teaching?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very annoying.
I mean, I feel like we're preaching to the choir so hard right now, and they're like, yes, guys, we get it.
We know Snape's not a good teacher.
Right. Anyway, Harry is starting to follow. He takes the leap of faith here, which is another thing that makes me like it better if it's James, because it feels like then Harry will even suspect that it is James. You know, like as the story unfolds or whatever. But I like the idea that he's like, the reason he decides to trust it is because there's like an inherent reason to trust it. But anyway, so Harry is doing all of these steps, and all of a sudden he is seeing that sure enough, everything's working exactly as it is meant to.
Right. His frustration with the previous owner evaporating on the spot.
Right. Yes. And Hermione's going to like look over and be like, well, what are you doing? And Harry's like, at a clockwise third. She's like, no, the book says counterclockwise. And he's like, all right, suit yourself.
Yeah, I know. Just like, it's awfully rich of you to be frustrated with Harry when he tried to help you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So yeah, I love this line too. It just says, across the table, Ron was cursing fluently under his breath, which I could only imagine. Like, I think I'm just going to steal that.
Right.
Know? And just like, and there, I was cursing fluently after that.
Right.
You know, I mean, just.
Yeah. It describes his potion as looking like liquid licorice, to which I'm like, man, that sounds pretty good. I don't know.
I picture black.
Oh, you picture black?
Which makes me think of like it's got like a blah.
Like, yeah, well, if it's black licorice, then less good. But if it's like a nice, like liquidy, strawberry Twizzler or something.
Well, that's good.
Which I know is not real licorice. I get it.
Oh man, they're gonna come after you.
They're coming after me for that.
But no, it does say then. At last, he reached a table where Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ernie were sitting. He smiled ruefully at the tar-like substance in Ron's cauldron. Tar makes me think of black.
Yeah, probably black.
Yeah. He passed over Ernie's navy concoction. Hermione's potion. He gave an approving nod. Then he saw Harry's, and a look of incredulous delight spread across his face.
The clear winner.
Good Lord, it's clear you've inherited your mother's talent. She was a dab hand at potions, Lily was. Here you are, then, here you are. One bottle of Felix Felicis, as promised. Use it well.
Use it well. Is that what Dumbledore signs on the invisibility cloak?
Yeah.
Use it well.
Use it well.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
Hey, curiosity. Do you think Lily won Felix Felicis in her first day of potions class?
Well, do you think he does this every year? Ooh, interesting.
How could he not?
How could he not? How could he not? How could he not? Yes. What could she have used it on?
From a teacher's perspective, Slughorn's like favoritism is not a good trait, but from a teacher's perspective, that he is trying to impress the students with his method of teaching and enjoying the course is not the worst motivational baggage.
Right.
I mean, obviously you want him to not treat the students differently. Like, that's not a good characteristic, but the rest of it, that like he's in there trying to impress them as much as the other way around, is like, I don't hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like his teaching methodology, not necessarily his favoritism. But
exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. You said it better.
Okay. Well, thank you. I also love his little pun where he's like, the clear winner, because the potion's supposed to be clear at this point.
Nice. That's very good.
Look at Slughorn just slinging puns.
What a goofy goober.
Yep. And then even on the next page, and Ron is like, how'd you do that? And he goes, got lucky. Lavender, did you hear that?
That's was it Ronald?
No. Oh, never mind. What'd you say, Harry? Yeah, puns. Okay.
I can't say I can't.
Wordplay. Not for me, Harry. Not for me.
Nope. Not what I'm into.
Nope.
Although if you know anything about modern day Lavender Brown, Harry is a bit of a pun.
Yep.
There's some layers to that I'm not going to go into.
That's funny.
Anyway, you figure it out if you want to. Okay, let's see here. Harry though is going to sort of have this little back and forth with Hermione because like, I suppose you think I cheated, and she's like, well, it wasn't exactly your own work, was it? And Ron's like, well, he only followed different instructions to ours. Like, it could have been a catastrophe, couldn't it? Like, he took a risk and it paid off.
I love Ron's reasoning here, and this is what I meant where he's going to continue to be so supportive in the chapter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ron's like, thanks, buddy. Tryouts are on Friday.
I will be there. I'll be the guy with the red hair.
Right. Maybe you notice this badge I'm wearing as your captain. Because that's the other thing is that someone earlier in the chapter noticed that Harry's like rocking the Quidditch captain badge.
Oh,
so he's actively wearing it around, which doesn't feel like a very Harry thing to do.
Not as much.
Yeah.
Not as much. Yeah, I bet Draco was so annoyed with that too.
I know. Oh, because Draco's not the captain, is he?
I don't think he is.
Oh, that'd have been so funny if Dumbledore gave Draco the captaincy of the Quidditch team.
Like, oh, come on.
Yeah, he's just like, oh man, I got to work on this too.
Excellent.
Yeah. I think doesn't Draco drop from the team altogether though this year?
I believe he does.
Yeah.
Yes. He says he's sick or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have been a catastrophe, couldn't it? So then Ron is just like, oh, Slughorn could have handed me that book, but no, I get the one no one's ever written on. Puked on, by the way. Look at page 52, but. Ugh.
What's he looking at page 52 when it was like page 10? They were supposed to be working off.
I don't know. Maybe that's why he got the wrong one.
Ron's just like skipping ahead.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I could do that, Professor. Or hear me out. I'm going to do an even more advanced one.
That's right.
What do you think about that?
I'm going to take a little risk myself.
Yeah.
Here.
A little bit of a risk here. You wanted the draft of living death, but I gave you a concoction of unctuous tar. So
I thought, there was a chance that you're into black licorice.
Right.
Turns out it's crystallized pineapple.
It's my mistake.
Anybody could have misread that.
No one could have risked that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
But the thing too that I would say about that particular back and forth as well is that like potions class in particular is about following instructions. So it's like, well, it wasn't exactly your work. And it's like, well, it was, right? Like Harry didn't find all those conclusions on his own, nor could the other students have found those conclusions on their own, but he was still just following instructions.
Right.
So maybe that's what Ron means. Yeah, exactly. Is that like he took a risk and that's that.
Took a risk and it paid off.
Right.
Then of course Ginny is going to pop up and she's like, hey, what's this? Did I hear you've been taking orders from something someone wrote in a book, Harry? And so she's obviously talking about the diary back in Chamber of Secrets. This whole situation is a great example of what's called like ring storytelling.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, so it's sort of like each, like the books, like we talked about Harry going to Diagon Alley for the first time versus his trip to Diagon Alley this time.
Yeah.
Right. It's like even across the entire series, those two scenes mirror each other in this like big, like ring kind of way. And then the train ride at the beginning of Order of the Phoenix and the train ride at the end have this mirror effect on them as well.
Yep.
And so these sort of themes like play out across like inside of each book, but then also across the entire series. So like books 2 and 6, which are, one away from the end.
Yeah.
Because if you have 7 in a row, these are both the ones right away from the end. They are the same distance from the middle, which is Goblet of Fire, are both the primary artifact in them is a book.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's the diary, and this time it's the Half-Blood Prince.
Okay. I follow.
Yeah. So
and in both cases, you've got like instruction coming from them to do things.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But one of them is kind of good and one of them is kind of bad.
Right. Yes.
Not kind of bad. It's really bad.
One of them is very bad. It's trying to kill people.
Yeah. We don't love that.
Don't love it.
Yeah. I don't think it's a hot take. It's a pretty universally accepted take.
Yes. The other one you can see it with is the appearance of dragons in the stories.
Yes. In let's see here.
So it's books 1 and 7 are and they get like bigger and older as the story goes too. So you have the baby dragon Norbert in Hagrid's Cabin in book 1. Then you have the Hungarian Horntail that Harry has to fight in Goblet of Fire. That's like the full-grown, most aggressive dragon, supposed to like represent Voldemort. And then you have the Ukrainian Iron Belly, which is like old and decrepit, and that's in book 7.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yep. So beginning, middle, end.
Beginning, middle, end. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, but yeah, Ginny's like bringing this up is kind of interesting because the situations are quite different.
Yes.
Like people writing in the margins of their books, literally what we do.
That's what we're doing right here.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever seen any of our pages, they are positively like blanketed in information. Is not really the same as a book that talks back to you when you speak to it.
Right. Yeah. It's not like Harry's writing in the book, well, how could I write this potion better?
That's right.
And the book's being like, smash it with the side of a silver blade, Harry.
Right.
Do it. Open the Chamber of Secrets and then smash it with, what was that? What? Silver blade. I didn't say anything. Let me rip you, Harry. What?
Rip. Like, Basilisk. You talk a big game. You rip no one.
You rip nobody. Oh my God. I saw a great like little reel the other day. It was just this dog like just gazing all over the place except at like its owner's eyes. And it was like the basilisk trying to make eye contact with people with its 300 sharp fangs. You're like, oh, can't find them. Where are they? Just bite them, dude.
The basilisk is exceptionally bad at its job.
Yeah, it's not good.
No. Which is good for the rest of everybody
Good
else,
for the rest of
but,
everyone, yeah. But you'd think.
Yeah, but so we kind of have like Hermione jumping onto a little bandwagon here because she really doesn't want any world where she's not being outclassed in class.
Yeah.
And Harry has just done exactly that and won quite the prize as a result of it. And here's Ginny basically being like, yo, you shouldn't do that. And Hermione's like, Ginny's right.
Exactly.
I totally agree with her. We ought to check there's nothing odd about it. I mean, all these funny instructions, who knows? And so then she snags up the book and uses the spell Specialis Revelio, a little piece of trivia there, and wraps it smartly on the front cover. Nothing whatsoever happened.
Man, that's not even as much as she tries when on Riddle's diary, you know? She gets that like eraser thing out and tries the stuff on it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
She backs off so quick. She's like, Specialis Revelio. Well, that's it. Nothing could be wrong with it.
Probably just fine.
I've done literally everything I can, so.
Does she also do this with the firebolt when it arrives?
No, she just tells McGonagall.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's another situation where Harry has an object that she is convinced is dangerous.
Right. Yes.
Yes. But so Harry's like, finished? Or do you want to wait and see if it does a few backflips? Yes, seems all right, said Hermione, still staring at the book suspiciously. I mean, it really does seem to be just a textbook.
And so it is.
Yep. But so then as Harry is picking it up off of the floor, he does see the back cover of the book that says, "This book is the property of the Half-Blood Prince."
Boom. This is an ending for the chapter that I feel like only carries as much weight as it does because it's already the title of the book.
True.
Like if this wasn't the title of the book, like if it was Harry Potter and the Cave of Inferi or something.
Yeah, right.
You know?
He would be like, so?
Yeah, you'd be like, this book is a property of the Half-Blood Prince. And you'd be like, all right, great. But because it's the title of the book, you're like, oh man, that book's important.
Now I might not be a literary wizard.
Yeah.
Maybe actually that is literally what I am.
Yeah. That's kind of your job.
But I think that this sentence is going to be relevant.
This one's important. This one that talks about the Half-Blood Prince.
That's right. But with that, obviously, it is the closing sentiment to Chapter 9, has us looking forward to Chapter 10, the House of Gaunt. But before we close out for the day, Jay, do you have a review for us?
I do, Ben. This one comes from the Half-Bloom Prince.
Ooh.
All right, it's a little bit long, so I might cut some of it out, but here we go. This is the Agapanthus theory.
Oh,
what they've sent us.
Okay. From outside the Dursleys.
The very same indeed.
Can't wait to see
All right, they say, "Oh shoot, brothers, I nearly caught up with the pod and soon won't be able to binge to my heart's content. One tidy detail I've never heard anyone mention. When Dumbledore arrives at Privet Drive to take Harry to the Burrow in Half-Blood Prince, he tells Uncle Vernon, 'I must say, your Agapanthus are flourishing.' Agapanthus are tall plants with clusters of purple trumpet-shaped flowers. The name comes from the Greek agape, to love, and anthos, flower, literally making them the flower of love. They're also called the African lily or the blue lily, or one variety is even called the purple potion, Agapanthus. That made me wonder if this is a subtle tribute to Lily Potter, the house where Harry has been protected for 15 years by Lily's sacrificial love, has the flower of love blooming at its doorstep. Then later in the same book, we learn Lily is exceptionally gifted at potions, even if purple potion isn't a specific variety growing here. It's still a fun connection. And Dumbledore doesn't compliment anything else about the Dursleys' home, only the Agapanthus. It almost feels like he's quietly acknowledging the one thing on the doorstep that symbolizes the love still protecting Harry, rather than anything Vernon himself has accomplished. So, what do you think?
I absolutely love it.
Yep.
I mean, I think I have two thoughts though here that I would like to share.
Okay.
Because right away, I think that is, I didn't know that about the Agapanthus. This is a detail that has like stood out to me before. And I've always just sort of coded it similarly to like the knitting patterns or whatever. Like one of the things that Dumbledore is into is just like gardening.
Right.
You know? And
well, I always thought that maybe he the Agapanthus had been, I don't know. I've always assumed they must be like a perennial or something. And like he remembered them from when he dropped Harry off. And he's like, I must say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, even that would like speak to like Dumbledore's just like extraordinary knowledge would fit with his like constant politeness. Like, you know, I remember 16 years ago when I was here last and they were just barely blossoming out of the ground, but now they're flourishing.
Yes.
Okay. So there's that. The other thought that I recently had for a separate reason, was we were talking about like Petunia's ongoing relationship with Harry and Lily, because there is a deleted scene from the films that is not included anywhere in the books at all. So you can't really call it canon, even if you were reaching for it. But basically it's like before Petunia leaves number 4 Privet Drive with Vernon and Dudley, she pulls Harry aside and she's like, you know, you're not the only one who lost someone that night. And it is like the most human moment you really get from Petunia, because it's like, when you think about them as kids, you know that Petunia and Lily like loved each other. They cared for each other. Like up until this discovery that Lily was a witch, I mean, it seems like they were just going to be happy-go-lucky best friends. Right. Like it wasn't going to be a problem. And then basically the alluded to reality of the situation is that Petunia is so jealous for so long that she can never, ever forgive Lily, and she hates everything to do with magic.
Yes.
But I think that there's a chance that happens after the fact entirely. And it's not until actually after Lily's death that she hates magic.
She hates magic because it's what killed her sister.
She hates magic because it's what killed her sister.
Right.
And so ultimately what you see though is like what you believe, because there's a letter from Lily to Sirius where she's talking about Harry's first birthday and thank you so much for the racing broom. It was immediately his favorite. You know, it broke a particularly ugly vase from Petunia. To me, it's like, it's a weird line because it fits exactly how we already know the Dursleys. But like, what if that vase is only ugly in Lily's eyes?
And what do you keep in a vase?
Flowers.
Flowers, which is also what they're both named after, and that's what agapanthus are.
Right. And so the thought here to me would almost be like, what if like Petunia doesn't hate magic already? She was jealous, sure, but magic is what took her sister from her. And the vase is like maybe ugly in Lily's eyes, but like Petunia genuinely could have been sending her something that she appreciated.
For Petunia to give Lily a vase, like when they send Harry presents, they are terrible.
Exactly.
Right. You know?
Yep.
Like it might not be to Lily's taste at all, but you're right. Like there's no, like you wouldn't send your sister, like if you're going to send them a terrible present, it's not going to be like a useful thing.
Right.
Like they send him like toothpicks and like a 50-cent pence or something.
And like a coat hanger.
And like
tissue.
a coat hanger. Yeah. It's like, those are not even gifts. Like a vase is a gift, you know, and the fact that they're both named after flowers feels like that's no accident either.
Correct. Yeah. So if you've gotten this situation where what Petunia has planted on her front walk is a reference to Lily, it's like almost her own like quiet way of like on an ongoing basis, especially from like Harry's entire life of coping with that loss.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it like then literally represents like the bond of blood at the house too.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's almost like a perfect fit. A bond of blood that is only sealed because Petunia sealed it.
Right.
You know, so
exactly.
Maybe even like what if they like came up out of the ground?
Oh, what if they didn't even plant them?
They came up as like a byproduct.
Oh, they're like a byproduct. Maybe that's why Dumbledore notices them. It's like, these are magical flowers.
Okay, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
In a distinctly
Curious.
non-magical place.
Yes.
McGonagall's never going to believe it.
Right.
She said the worst sort of muggles. Oh, I'm going to rub it in her face. But obviously he knows the Dursleys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think that there's a lot of layers to that. I like a world where there's more layers to the Dursleys. I don't like the singularity of their just kind of general horribleness because I don't see people like that.
Yeah, and I mean you're right. I love the deleted scene in the movie that gives like Petunia a little bit more like humanity, or a little range. Because in the book, all you really get is like Dudley has a little bit of a turnaround, which is still nice.
It is still nice.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Like I'm glad Dudley isn't going to be as bad as his parents, but I do. Yeah, it does seem like if they cared enough to take in Harry, there must be like, because they all, even Dumbledore and like Arthur will allude to like deep down, I'm sure you love him or something.
Right. Yes.
Right. It's like you want that to be true somewhere.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I mean, I don't know. It would give such a nice like additional layer to all of it, because that's what we have like with Snape, right? Like that's like what's so fun about the Snape reveal is that he's so mean.
Right.
He's so mean for so long. He's so miserable. And then you're kind of like, there's more to it.
Right. But like when the whole story is like the overarching theme of the whole story is that love conquers all, but like except and then that works for basically everyone except the Dursleys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Who are just these like, I mean, you know, they I think that they end up just going on to serve as like the figurehead for what it means to be a Muggle or something. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But anyway, no, great thing to point out.
Yes.
It's a great piece of lore because I think what petunias are like the flower of like hatred or something, and Lily
Are they?
is like the death flower.
Lily
Maybe,
is the flower of death. What do petunias symbolize? Hold on.
maybe jealousy. There is a negative association with petunias.
Let's find out. Petunia flower symbolizes comfort, a soothing presence, and anger or resentment. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
There
Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
I was like, a soothing presence, And anger or resentment. Yeah, that's definitely what we're going with.
That's definitely like why she is named Petunia from like a literary perspective. I suspect that petunias, because they're also a highly common household plant, people aren't going to want to grow them if they are associated with anger and resentment. So there's probably a softer side to how people depict these.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I love petunias. I've got some on my front stoop.
I was going to say, I often grow petunias through the summer as well.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but I think that should probably bring us to the end of today's episode.
I think so. That is going to do it. As a reminder, if you want a little bit more through the Gryffindor in your weekly diet, we also have an after show called The Owlery, where we answer a question from the audience. We have a giant spreadsheet of all the questions everyone has sent in. We do like a 15 to 20 minute deep dive on that question, and we post one every single week. And if you sign up for it, you'll get access to the entire backlog of it, so you can binge it all again.
That's right. Yes. So lots and lots and lots more content. And the Owlery is just such a great place to hang out as far as the community is concerned, because it is just the gigantic think tank of this community coming together to just sort of like look at the story from every conceivable angle, Agapanthus included.
Yes.
And it kind of helps us craft future theories. It also just kind of helps expand our own interpretation of the series. So as much as what we're attempting to do here with this show is to share our thoughts with you guys, the reverse is just as true. So patreon.com/throughthegryffindor.
Yep, but otherwise, make sure you join us next week for Chapter 10, The House of Gaunt, here on Through the Gryffindor.
Today's episode was edited by Ethan Edghill. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.